Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's episode 29 of the Shut Your Mouth Lounge podcast. I was actually able to remember this one because I just finished editing the last episode last night because I'm lazy. Today's podcast is right after E3. It will be coming out a week after E3 though because our schedule is,
Scheduling.
yeah, we need to fix that. And it's just me and Addie today. Now, this is probably going to be a shorter podcast because while I'm going to try and go over everything as quickly as I can, I don't imagine that there's going to be a lot of games that even I'm interested in, and Addie's even pickier than I am, so. But hey,
We'll see.
we'll see, I guess. So we'll go ahead and hit the first E3 conference from June 9th, Saturday. There was the EA conference. I didn't watch that one.
Me neither.
I
But I'm
hear
pretty sure they showed. But I'm pretty sure they showed off FIFA.
they
That's enough. That's enough to justify me not watching it.
they definitely showed off FIFA. I'd imagine they showed off. I think they showed off Battlefield 5. The main thing coming out of it apparently was just that it was really underwhelming, and that literally everyone on the show did better, which is astounding because Square Enix's show was terrible. So go ahead and move past that one real quick. Then on the 10th, there was Microsoft's show, which I believe you and I both watched, right?
Yeah.
All right, so there's a good couple things to go over there. At first, the conference I thought it was kind of weak at first, but it got better as the conference went on, definitely.
I think I jumped in like a couple of minutes later, like a half an hour later than it started, just because the day after the Microsoft conference, I had to wake up at 8 because I had a test.
Uh,
So. So
okay.
yeah, I was studying before jumping into E3.
Ooh.
So yeah, and I also didn't know when the thing started. So it was like I guess it starts around like 6, and then again Brian told me that it starts at what would be 10 p.m. for me.
Ooh.
Yeah. So then I came back at 10 and it was already going for like half an hour.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. I think
Yeah,
you.
time zones, they suck.
I'm trying to remember exactly when would have been the 30-minute mark. Did you miss Microsoft announcing that they'd bought a lot of developers and made them in-house?
No, I came just before that. I think like 10 to 20 minutes before that.
Okay, I feel like that's big news though. The Forza Horizon developers being bought is like no news at all. They might as well have already belonged to Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
But I felt like it was kind of big noobs. It was kind of big news that Undead Labs got picked up because
Honestly, I couldn't care less about Undead Labs just because of State of Decay and me not caring and caring at all about zombie games.
this is going to be every single E3 we talk topic that we bring up that is an Assassin's Creed. By the way, audience, I bring it
You're just
up.
gonna
Addy
you're
shuts.
gonna be
I.
you're probably gonna be surprised
But
once we get to there. But yeah, um,
this confirms we're never
Yakuza,
going to see
yeah,
State of Decay on PlayStation. By the way,
yeah.
and I don't know if honestly I don't know how well State of Decay 2 did sales wise. I know it didn't do well critically because Microsoft didn't actually give them. I don't know. I don't know. I blame Microsoft there, but I don't know the inner machinations of that game's development. Who knows? Maybe it was Undead Labs' fault. I just want to blame Microsoft. But
But yeah, they also got Ninja Theory, which
is
I
really big news.
yeah, I downloaded Ninja Gaiden Black again just to see if I can actually play through the game. I probably won't be able to, but there's always a chance.
They made one of the Ninja
The
Gaidens?
wasn't Ninja Theory the people behind Ninja Gaiden?
I don't know. The only three games I know of from Ninja Theory are the DMC reboot, Heavenly Blade, and Hellblade. And now, out of those, Heavenly Blade was a PlayStation exclusive. Man, I don't remember.
Right, so Ninja Gaiden was Black was made by Team Ninja. What the shit is Team Ninja? Okay, I guess that's not Ninja Theory.
Team Ninja, I think, are the guys who make Ninja Gaiden
Dead or Alive.
and Dead or Alive. Yeah, different teams, different teams.
Bloody hell. I'm never going to not mix the two up then.
I feel like there's another game that Ninja Theory made that I thought really screwed up a franchise like DMC did. Did they?
No idea. I think they made Senova or whatever, Hellblade.
Yeah, that one was supposed to be really fucking good. I need to pick that one up. But didn't they make like Metroid Other M or something?
Want me to look it up?
No, I'll look it up just fine. I think it's definitely good on Microsoft's part that they're doing this though, because Microsoft's big problem for quite a while has been their whole thing of they just don't have a lot of first-party developers. They have Halo and they have Gears, and that's about it.
They also have Forza, but yeah.
They
Other
had,
problem,
what,
I think.
hang on. They
Yeah.
had Forza as an exclusive franchise, but they did not own the Forza developers until now.
Yeah. No, I think they did. Didn't they own Turn 10? Or don't they own Turn 10?
Well, if
Because
they did, it's not Turn 10 that's making them anymore because they just announced. I think it was Playground Games, at least.
yeah, Playground Games makes the good Forzas, the Horizons. Turn 10 makes the simulation ones.
Okay, because they just bought Playground.
Yeah.
And let's see, Ninja Theory made Enslaved Odyssey to the West. You remember that one where you play as the guy named Monkey and he's got the girl that's following him
Yes.
and the robots?
Yeah,
And
I do.
yeah, they made DMC, they made Heavenly Sword, they made Hellblade. Other than that, they made some shitty Disney games, but I thought Ninja Theory was a more famous developer, a more prolific developer than that. Huh. Still, that's fairly big news, because Ninja Theory is one of the few developers that has a tendency to make those kind of character action games in the style of DMC. And now they're Xbox exclusive. And Microsoft just fucking canceled the shit out of one of the biggest potential character action games that was coming up. Because you remember Scalebound? I remember Scalebound. I'm still pissed about Scalebound.
Thankfully, because of me not giving a shit and having me not giving a ship, yes, I do not give these games votes. But anyway, yeah, because I genuinely don't care about 90% of games coming out at any time because of money constraints. I never really did care about Scalebound, so it getting cancelled was not really big news to me because, like, it being cancelled does push me towards buying a PlayStation, but that doesn't mean that I would have bought it had it come out.
Right, but even if you're not looking at it from a personal point of view, it sucks that Scalebound didn't come out, especially considering it looked like it was already so far ahead in development. I mean, just the little teasers we were given shown so much. Because I definitely remember, was it E3 2015? E3 2016? Yeah, it would have been E3 2016. When they were showing that off, I was like, holy shit, I wish I had an Xbox One for this game. And then they canceled it, and then I got an Xbox One, so what the fuck happened? But, yeah, that's enough about Microsoft's past failings. They also...
Let's move on to Microsoft's current failings.
Microsoft had one of the better shows. I'll say the only, like, dangerously stupid flop they made was probably Gears Pop.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
that's a
not sure
good
about
game.
I'm not sure about Gears Tactics either, but then I'm not really invested in the Gears lore, so
Gears Tactics could be a fun little thing. Like, Gears Tactics looks like it's going to be an XCOM ripoff, and I want there to be more XCOM ripoffs in the world. Because I like XCOM's system, and I think it's a system that could be applied to nearly any genre.
freaking too bad that they removed Blood Bowl from from the Game Pass.
That is too... Well, I don't remember if it was the first or the second, but if it was the second, we absolutely should
It
have.
was the second.
Okay, we absolutely should have played some games in that. Even though none of the.
Pink and I did, but
Ooh.
we had fun. We played competitive freaking XCOM rugby against each other.
Did you did you have any instances of your teammates accidentally eating each other?
No, I no, but neither of us could pick up balls.
Oh, that makes for an interesting football game when neither team can pick up the ball.
Yeah, the game went like Pink did the like shoot off or whatever where you give the other side the ball. He throws it. I send my Skaven because I always played Skaven, of course, to pick it up. He picks it up, throws it to the other one fails. Then Pink moves in with his like humans, if I remember correctly. He moves in two of his humans. He tells one of them to pick it up. The guy throws it up into the air. The other one tries to catch it, but he throws it into the air as well. My Skaven tries to catch it, and that throws it up into the air as well, and then it just lands on the ground next to them.
I remember that I played the first. I was stupid enough when I bought the Xbox 360 for the first time back in like 2010. I think the very first game I bought for it was Blood Bowl, which was a mistake because the first Blood Bowl was garbage. But I remember that definitely being a thing of your character has to go through a fucking skill check just to pick up the ball, and most of the time, at least with most of the teams I got to play, they fail. So
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of idiots stumbling over a football at one point in the game.
yeah. We kind of hoped we spent a good 20 minutes with Pink looking at the options, trying to figure out if there's a way to turn some of the skill checks off because, like catching a ball if somebody else throws it at you can be a skill check,
Well, yeah, in real life football, it
but
absolutely is.
yeah, but picking up a ball,
Yeah, oh boy, I think there's something going on Eddie's side.
there is.
Yeah, I just remember if you picked one of the teams that had bigger guys and small. I think it was like if you picked the ogre team. The ogre team had little goblin equivalents called noblars, and the mainline ogres themselves are big fuckers that are mainly known for their obnoxious hunger. And there's a mechanic you can have in the game where if you have a large team member and a small team member, the large team member can throw the small team member. You could try and have the ogres throw the noblars, but there was like a 50-50 chance over whether they'd throw the noblars or just pick them up and eat them whole. Like football gear and all. And
Oh, yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. That's the thing with I want to say like I don't know what their name was, freaking like Underworlders or Netherworlders or whatever, or something like that. They were basically horse people.
That may
I
be
think they had one of yeah.
Beastmen. Because
No idea.
Blood Bowl still technically works off the Warhammer Fantasy base, but I think it throws in a lot of teams that don't exist in Warhammer Fantasy. Like the Amazons are not a thing in the Warhammer Fantasy, not yet at least. I hope and pray that they're going to add Amazons to Total War Warhammer, but they weren't a thing in the board game, definitely.
So yeah, I think they had like a big guy who was like basically an ant from Lord of the Rings, and he could eat the horse people or something like that.
Okay, that definitely sounds odd. I don't know about anything in that in Warhammer Fantasy.
I don't freaking remember. I remember having like a big stony guy who ate people. I mean, he never ate people for me because I never could figure out how to set up throwing people, but
Yeah. Well, it's part of the whole thing. Blood Bowl is very archaic because it was originally a board game. So it's like, all right, so you got to figure out where all the rules would have gone in the proper tabletop game, and then figure it out from there.
yeah. Sometimes I kind of wish that there would be like a freaking, it's like basically a video game equivalent of Roll20.
That has been considered definitely. I don't think it'd ever be officially supported by like D&D or Warhammer or any of the usual tabletop guys, because then it would take away all the money they get from you buying books and buying models and all that. There's a reason Roll20 is as unofficial as it is, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the Warhammer games, like, the only reason Total War Warhammer Fantasy exists is because Games Workshop torched the original Warhammer Fantasy game because they weren't happy with the profits it was making. If the Warhammer Fantasy tabletop game still existed, the Total War Warhammer video game would not exist because you wouldn't need the Warhammer Fantasy board game. Because it fills the exact same role and even better. So if they did the same thing with D&D, nobody played D&D on the tabletop anymore. Anyways, back to E3 because we got stuck off on a little Warhammer tangent there, which I'm always happy. I'm always happy to have a Warhammer tangent because I'm a huge Warhammer nerd. But you know, let's see.
So next game, Bethesda.
No, wait! You're getting way ahead of us here.
What did we miss from Microsoft?
Well, firstly,
Oh, right. I remember.
Gears of War 5, Devil May Cry 5.
Neither of which are the game that came to my mind.
Let's see, Halo Infinity, though we wouldn't have talked about it because neither of us are Halo fans.
No, I actually, the game that came to my mind is freaking Jump Stars.
Oh, right, we do have to talk about that, don't we? Jump Force. Jump Force.
Yeah,
what kind of fucking
remember...
anime nerd are you that you fucked up the name that badly?
The crossover anime games will always be something with Jump and Stars, like J Stars. I mean, yeah, because the long-running series that I remember is called J Stars. But yeah, so Jump Force. I've seen some gameplay. I considered buying the game once it came out because, you know, the Naruto games gameplay is a guilty pleasure of mine because it's actually a good game when you look past Naruto.
I don't know that I'd say it's a good game. I'll say that
it's a satisfying fighting game.
I wouldn't say that's a satisfying fighting game.
Well, how can I say it? It's a satisfying game where you combat with characters and put animations together.
I'll say that it's maybe got some cool super moves for the characters that aren't Naruto. And some of the characters have stuff that looks cool. But like on a mechanical level, it might as well not exist.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Because I mean, like, the anime fighters, like, there's Dragon Ball Fighter Z now, and there is Budokai 3 way back in the day. But other than that, mechanically, they might as well not exist because they're the least balanced things on the earth. And they're not even really trying to be interesting on a gameplay scale. They're just trying to, hey, remember this character from the anime? Remember this move he once did? We put it in the game.
Yeah. So I looked at the gameplay footage from it, and let me tell you, the game looks really freaking good. And I don't mean that you know, it looks interesting and worth your money. I mean it in the game is bloody beautiful way.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm waiting on more footage. Because right now, the Bizarro New York City map works very awkwardly. Because
I saw
it's
grasslands.
Okay, that's
map.
good. Ooh, what kind of grasslands map? Are we talking like Street Fighter Alpha Outback here?
I don't remember actually that Street Fighter Alpha Outback. I need to look it up.
Street Fighter Alpha Outback is honestly one of my favorite stages in any fighting game ever. It's not complicated at all. It's just you and your opponent fighting in the middle of a field of like tall grass in a thunderstorm, and that's it.
Oh no! It's not really. I like that. That is actually one of my favorite maps as well. I just don't know any of their names because Mugen.
Yeah. Well, hey, it would have been listed as Outback in Mugen. I've got it on my Mugen, and it's listed as Outback.
I never chose my maps. I always went with random. So you know.
Well, you would have had to download it and put it in the.
No, I always got compilations, like pre-made ones.
Okay. Yeah, I always made customs.
Yeah, I was always too stupid to do it. So, yeah. As for the backgrounds, well, for as I've said, the backgrounds, rather, not the game, just the backgrounds, look really freaking good. The models are really high quality from what I can tell and all that, but here's the thing. Anime characters on freaking photorealistic backgrounds look weird as hell.
Oh yeah, that was my big thing going into it. It also doesn't help that the Dragon Ball characters are animated in an entirely different, well, not an entirely different, but a very different anime style than Naruto or One Piece. Because the Dragon Ball characters are much more angular and much more muscular. Whereas Naruto and One Piece characters tend to be pretty lean and very kind of rounded edges, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, if I can take someone I really like, I don't know, Vegeta, if I can make Vegeta kill Naruto, that'd be great.
You probably can. Here's the gameplay that I saw. There's three-man teams, and I hope that or this game retains the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 leader switching mechanic because it's one of the best things that those games have.
I'll be
Because you
honest.
can,
I think right now what it looks like. It's probably just going to be an Ultimate Ninja Storm game, but with the rosters of Dragon Ball and uh, One Piece added in.
I'm honestly fine with that because I enjoy those games. And as I've said, with 4, like it's not a good mechanic. It's just a really funny mechanic, the leader switching mechanic. Because here's what you can do with it: you have 3 people on your team. You start a combo with 1. In the middle of the combo, you switch out to the next one. You do the combo with them as well. Then you switch out to the third one. Then you switch out to the first one. After doing all 3 combos, then you do your first combo again, and then do a super move, and that's like 90% health.
So you're describing Marvel versus Capcom here. You do realize.
So yeah, that's a thing in Ultimate Ninja Storm as well.
Well, Marvel vs. Capcom even goes further because you can call out all 3 characters on your team for a super, and you all do your supers at once.
Oh,
Oh my god, why'd you have to remind me of the existence of Sasuke?
oh, I honestly I just posted that because that's the gameplay that I saw.
Yeah, Addy just posted a little clip of Zoro versus Sasuke. I'm fine with
Yeah,
One Piece characters because I grew up on One Piece a little bit, but Naruto is the fucking worst. But yeah, I'm not buying that game unless it like I picked up one of the Naruto games because it was legitimately just $5 or $4 on Steam, and that was the only reason why. So this is under a similar context of I'll probably pick it up if it's on sale, but I can't like regardless of how good the game is, if it's just going off the Naruto gameplay style, then even if how subjectively interested I might be in the One Piece and Dragon Ball parts, eventually there has to be a point where from objective standards you're just like I can't support this.
yeah, I need to look at the roster because just from what I've seen, there's not actually a lot of characters that I'd like to play because, you know, like there's Goku and probably Vegeta and Frieza because they're the Jump Stars or J Stars rather. Um,
Well, it's going to have a roster of bigger than 9 characters. We aren't just
yeah.
going to get 3 Dragon Balls, 3 One Pieces, and three Narutos.
Usually how it goes is that you get three or two from each anime that they represent. Like in the last game, I think you had freaking you had Yu Yu Hakusho, you had Rurouni Kenshin, you had Bleach. Then again, neither of us would play Bleach, so who the hell freaking cares?
Well, it's only
There
three.
was like,
It's only 3 anime they're going off of here.
is it?
Yeah.
Has it been freaking
Well,
wow?
they had what's his face from the they had what's the fucking anime where the guy writes down in the notebook and then they die? Death Note.
Death Note.
Yeah, they had the
Yeah.
guy from Death Note show up in the ending, but the developers already confirmed he's not playable.
Oh,
I mean,
well that sucks. 'Cause
if it plays like Naruto games are like very quantity over quality. So I'd say we probably would get a fair bit from each roster, particularly because like a fan of Dragon Ball would feel cheated if they didn't get Cell or even more obscure characters who are still popular like Nappa or the Ginyu Force, right?
yeah.
It just wouldn't be right. So I think that not only with them just cutting down to 3 anime, but also the fact that they're keeping to the Naruto style, which generally makes it easy to copy and paste with character designs. I think that, yeah, it'll probably have a bigger roster.
But has it been confirmed that it's only 3 animes that it's taking characters from?
It hasn't been outright confirmed, but if they wanted to, I'd imagine Microsoft would have wanted them to show off as many animes as they could for the E3 trailer. Because speaking of that, Microsoft going hard on the Japanese stuff this year. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I don't mind, but then I'm a weeaboo, so... Well, kind of, sort of, not really, not anymore. But yeah.
For like years, I've been like, why are you on Xbox if you love this weeaboo shit so much? And it's like, okay, Microsoft's actually complying with you today. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, I thought about buying the freaking, what's it called? I forgot already. Tales of Vesperia or whatever the RPG that they announced was.
And collectively, everyone in the audience went, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've never seen an audience like tank so badly as the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer at Microsoft. Cause they were fucking confused, those poor bastards. They just did not know what they were looking at.
I missed the KH3 trailer or what at Microsoft.
Oh my god,
thing.
It was the worst because they for some reason decided to give Microsoft the narrative trailer and give Sony the gameplay trailer. Because Microsoft is the console that has not gotten the KH franchise, so Microsoft players would be the least likely to know what the fuck is going on from the story side of things, and the least likely to care. So you should have shown them how KH3 will have ridiculous over-the-top fight sequences, and keep the plot for the Sony players because they actually know the KH plot at least moderately more. And just watching the poor audience be just utterly silent after the KH3 trailer ended, the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer ended, was just the saddest. Because they were clapping and cheering after every trailer except for Kingdom Hearts 3 and I guess Tales of Vesperia. Yeah, PUBG, that one was a funny one. PUBG was funny because Soon and I were both watching E3 and chatting over Steam about it. And we were both, when the PUBG trailer came out, we both went, striking while the iron is hot. Because, PUBG is the most dead thing. And I'm glad. I'm glad because I don't particularly care for this genre. But, even if you are...
I'm just waiting for Fortnite to die as well because... I'm not sure if you heard this, but freaking Hi-Rez just released the Battle Royale game as well.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that after we're done talking about E3. Trust me. Alright, so Jump Force, yeah, it's interesting. Let's see, what else were we going to talk about? There's going to be a new Halo. It's got a subtitle Infinity. Some people think this means it's going to be a Battle Royale game. We don't care. Gears of War 5? I didn't pick up Gears of War 4 because it didn't interest me.
It's in Game Pass.
I need to pick up Gears of War 4. And I'll probably...
It's in Game Pass.
Hang on. You know what thought just dawned on me?
What?
The Gears of War games would be a really simple series of games for us to co-op through.
I think we've discussed this like 5 times, and it always ends with me saying that I don't like Gears of War, and you yelling about me being inferior.
Inferior? Did you say
Something
inferior?
Like yeah.
What the fuck do you think I am? Nazi Germany?
the Arya Gears fan nation.
The Gears of War Master Race? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, I guess.
The Gears of War Master Race, practicing the cult of action and covering up the Sony Holocaust. Holy shit. Wait.
Speaking German. Marcus Felix speaking broken German.
Cliff Bleszinski did nothing wrong. Oh my god, that's the best. Okay, yeah, shit. I don't know. We've already got so much on our plate for recording, and we haven't recorded anything in the past week, and you've got so much tests and shit on your plate.
I have nothing now.
Okay.
I only have a thing on the 19th. That and 121, 21st, 21 every time. 121st, yeah.
All
And
right.
that's it.
All right, I'll just go ahead and say after we're done recording this, Soon isn't going to be available until 4 o'clock. So you and I should probably like, I don't know. I want to get some work done in Terraria, and I want to bang out I want to bang out a couple more Terraria sessions and go ahead and I want to say we'll finish up Terraria whenever we get to the final boss.
I still only have one session edited because after finishing up the D&D game that nobody will know about because I haven't set it to watchable.
Because the whole thing of Idle like going crazy in the background and
No,
playing
not just
guitar.
because of that. Yeah, that as well, but I think that's in it only for like 3 seconds, if even that. The the bigger problem with it is mainly that I couldn't edit out your mom going into the room because yeah, this is why recording your audio separate is a good idea. So
Oh
that's one.
right, because that was when I didn't have the keybind set up right. Because I had tried to
Yeah.
set it up where I mute myself, but I instead had it set up where I muted you guys.
Yeah, that was also an option or an option, a freaking problem.
Right, right. Well, good thing that's fixed. Oh,
So yeah,
by the way, yeah, YouTube audience, I live with my parents. Deal with it.
I don't think any of us don't live with our parents.
Well,
Like maybe Ted.
I think Ted doesn't live with his parents. I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
I mean, then if you say like a couple, like I think he said a couple of months ago that he moved back into his parents with his family
Right,
for a bit.
because his
Yeah,
fucking air conditioner exploded in the middle of
yeah.
the summer. That's a bit better of a reason. But yeah, anyways, what were we talking about? Right, Gears. Gears
Yeah.
of War 4, I wasn't interested in. It looked like it was, like, don't get me wrong, I dig the idea of having having the plot line move forward and having your characters get old and all that. But I just did not care at all for what the gameplay they were showing off, and I didn't care for Marcus's kid. And now Gears 5 is like, hey, Marcus's kid isn't the main character anymore. Now it's this chick. All right, already better. And I like a lot of the new ideas they're exploring. I like that it's not called Gears of War anymore. I like that it's just Gears. Because it ain't a war anymore. It's just survival. So I like that. I'll definitely be interested in that. And let's see. The other thing, Devil May Cry 5. Oh my god, I am so fucking happy that Devil May Cry is back. Because that was that a 10-year gap from Devil May Cry 5 to Devil May
Yes.
Cry 4? I'm looking up when Devil May
Yes.
Cry 4 came out right now. Just
2008. I'm pretty sure.
oh, it would have been around that time, yeah. Shit, I'm and Devil May Cry 5 ain't gonna come out until like 2019 at the earliest. Man, I feel bad for the people who were experiencing the series at the time. Because I didn't get into Devil May Cry until probably 2013 or 2014 when I played through the HD collection. And even I was like hankering for another one, you know?
Yeah.
And Devil May Cry 5 looks damn interesting because it looks like they've actually moved. Devil May Cry has the worst timeline ever because the games have come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The timeline goes 3, 1. No, wait. 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. That is the worst timeline I've ever seen. Like, I know Japan's always been really bad about their timelines with video games. Like, Street Fighter's timeline is also very fucked up, right? Because it goes 1, alpha, 2, 4, 5, 3. So, I don't know what Japan's problem is, but well, it's Capcom's problem, come to think of it. Except Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Resident Evil's chronology makes sense, though. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't get any more complicated than that.
Where does Code Veronica fit into that?
Code Veronica was originally supposed to be 3.
Oh.
But the thing is, like, there was a whole deal where Sony was like, hey, we want X amount of numbered Resident Evil titles on our console. That's the deal you made us. But at the time, Capcom had also made Sega the deal that they'd put Code Veronica on the Dreamcast. So Code Veronica was supposed to be 3, and Code Veronica is much, 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 much more important to the plot than 3, and was supposed to be 3. But they had to rename Nemesis to Resident Evil 3 because it was the one that was on the Sony console.
I see.
Yeah, it's a whole weird thing because, like, if you actually try to play through the main numbered series chronologically, then you'll play 3 and you'll play the other entries and you'll be like, what was the point of 3? Like, and what is all this Code Veronica bullshit that's getting brought up? Why is Wesker back? Because Wesker's resurrection, or Wesker turning out to have not actually died, rather, happened in Code Veronica. So if you go to Resident Evil 4, when Wesker just shows up in the middle of Ada's campaign, you're like, what the fuck? I'm happy to see Capcom's resurrection here. Because Monster Hunter has, like, been the... What's the word? Whatever. Monster Hunter is supposed to be amazing. I've not picked it up yet. I don't know if I'll ever get around to picking it up, particularly because if I do pick it up soon, he'll harass me to do it right. Soon he'll harass me to get good. But Resident Evil 7 was supposed to be incredible. I've not got around to picking it up, but I've seen a playthrough of it, and it looks like it's damn incredible. Street Fighter V started off awful. Because I had Street Fighter V when it came out, and it was bad in several regards. The gameplay was fun. The gameplay was smooth in a way that Street Fighter 4 absolutely is not. It's more in the vein of third. Like 4, I feel like, is more of a follow-up on 2 and Alpha. 5, I think, is more of a follow-up on Third Strike. Which is good. Which is very good. Because you've played Third Strike, and you'd also agree that out of the 3 classic Street Fighters, it's the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Admittedly, it's missing some of my favorite Third Strike guys. No Dudley is still... I want my Dudley. But hey, I might get my Q, and I'll be happy to... I love Q and Dudley equally, but it's been so long that since we've gotten Q that I'd be happy to sacrifice Dudley for Q just this once, you know? I'd rather have both.
They used up their have Dudley in your game in this century card on 4.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, and they're going to use up the have Q in a game in this century, because Q is the kind of character that he only gets to come around once every 20 or so years. And I'm not saying that, like, jokingly. I mean, like, honestly, he is the kind of character design that Capcom really does not do. I'd imagine Q is the kind of character design that is not very popular in Japan at all. So he probably only comes around once every 20 years, probably just exclusively like, hey, here's a little goofy robot detective man for the West.
Here's Nick Valentine, now fighting.
Dude, you don't even know. That never dawned on me while playing Fallout 4, but if I ever play Fallout 4 again, which hopefully I don't. But
It's in Game Pass.
Oh no, I've got a copy for PS4 right here next to me. But if I ever play that again, because you've said that, I will now forever refer to Nick Valentine as Q. And refer to Q as Nick Valentine. They have now traded places. Alright. So, yeah, we keep veering off topic to talk about games we're more interested in. Devil May Cry 5, well, I'm terribly interested in Devil May Cry 5, particularly because it's moving forward in the timeline super hard. So, you saw that guy throughout the entirety of the thing, right? The new main character. Yeah, that's Nero. That's fucking Nero. He looks entirely different from last time. And I'm happy, because I hated Nero's old design.
He looks like Adam Lambert a bit.
He does.
If I remember correctly.
He does, but I feel like it's a night like DMC. Like I honestly was okay-ish with Dante's design from the reboot. I didn't like that he had the black hair. I didn't like that he looked like a douchebag. I didn't like the wife beater. I didn't like the black coat. But I liked the hairstyle. I didn't like that it was black though. It should have been white, like classic Dante. And it shouldn't have been Dante.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been Dante, because that's not a Dante hairstyle. I mean, ordinarily I'm opposed to that stupid Japanese douchebag hairstyle, but I feel like it's just associated with Dante at this point, you know?
Yeah.
And seeing the black-haired reboot Dante, I did not think Dante whenever I looked at him, you know?
One thing that I liked about the reboot, and it's probably the only thing that anybody likes about the reboot, is that they had a separate mode just so you could dye his hair white.
Yes, I remember that. Was there a thing where you could put on it, give him a stupid white wig too?
Yes, I also think that he had he actually had a classic costume where he had a red coat and a white hair and a white long hair.
Yes, I actually got the DMC reboot as part of Game Pass, and there was legitimately just a classic costume that turns him into like DMC One Dante, and I was like, thank God. I remember what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Whatever. DMC 5 looks incredible. And did you see Dante at the end of the trailer?
No, I think I missed him.
Okay. I let me go ahead and bring him up for you, and I'll probably put him out as the main image on the podcast as well, because he looks incredible in best and worst ways. Oh, because it's the best. Okay, it looks like everybody's... Alright, here we go. Yeah, let me go ahead and throw this up in the chat for you. And I'll go ahead and throw it up on as the main image for the podcast as well. So get a load of that.
I don't mind that.
He looks like an old fart.
Yeah, I mean it's mostly just the beard.
He looks like he's lost his fucking mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the thing is, this is picking up after Devil May Cry 2 more than likely. Because Devil May Cry 2 ends on Dante riding a motorcycle into hell. And and the bit we get of Dante at the end of the Devil May Cry 5 trailer is Dante riding the same motorcycle, and now he looks old and haggard with a slight beard going on. And also possibly having gone crazy because he spent several years in hell.
Is Virgil dead by this point? Or does he never die?
It's funny you ask. Cause he was in Devil May Cry 3. He died in Devil May Cry 1. So then there's supposed to be 4 and 2 that he was dead during. But it looks like he's back in Devil May Cry 5 because he's in the fucking logo.
Okay, good. I hope that he's actually a playable character with a story.
I think he's gonna be the villain. But he's going to be a playable character because every game that Virgil's been in, he's been playable, I think. Well, he wasn't in one. He wasn't in one technically, but you know what I mean. And he wasn't playable. He was playable in 4, and he wasn't in 4, so that was real weird. He was playable in the special edition of 4. He wasn't playable in the original game. Man, I need to go back and finish 4. I didn't finish that one because I hated Nero's playstyle so much.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Like,
I actually kind of prefer the reboot's playstyle just because it had this stupid thing where you could switch between weapons with the press of the triggers, if I remember correctly, and I kept doing a combo where I would knock people into the air, jump up, hit them once, jump up again, because that was a freaking thing that you could do, I guess, and then pull them back up, jump up again from them, and then just pull them up infinitely.
For Dante, you could always switch weapons with the triggers. The thing is, though, I don't know how it was in 4, because I didn't get to play as Dante much in 4, but in 3, you had to set the weapons in the pause menu. You had to set the weapons up to swap between.
I see. In the reboot, then again, you played the reboot, so what am I talking about? You know this.
I didn't get far enough to unlock any extra weapons.
Oh.
I beat the first level, and that was it.
Yeah, in the reboot, you get a sight and an axe, a battle axe, I think, that you can switch between. I don't think that you can set what you switch between. It's just those two, and then the sword and ebony and ivory.
No gauntlets? You don't get gauntlets?
I don't remember there being gauntlets, though I never finished that game either, so...
Okay, you'd have to get gauntlets at some point. That's like a signature Devil May Cry weapon. Every game you get a set of gauntlets, and that allows Dante and Virgil to fight unarmed. Because that was the whole cool thing, was you could just put away your sword and start punching the demons to death.
I might need to look into that.
If you've never played Devil May Cry 3 and you can like get the HD collection for cheap, you absolutely should, because Devil May Cry 3 is still the best Devil May Cry.
I think the cheapest I saw it for is $30, so I'll have to wait. Yeah.
Yuck. I don't know. They re-released the HD collection for Xbox One and PS4, so who knows if the Xbox One version may go cheap sometime soon. I don't know. And Virgil is also very good in Devil May Cry 3, if you've not actually properly played him yet.
Nope, I don't think I have. I have played him in 4 Special Edition, but I didn't actually get that far in 4 Special Edition because, I think I've spoken about this, but there's this sort of jank about the controls with Devil May Cry and I guess Sengoku Basara as well, because they are like freaking father and son series, where, like, I can't call it loose, but I can't call it tight either. It just feels weird to me. But I don't dislike it, it just feels weird to me.
That definitely goes on in the kinds of games like this, especially like any game where it's a beat 'em up where you free roam like that, and you switch between running freely and focusing on locking onto an enemy. There's definitely a bit of oddity that feels like that, especially when you're fighting multiple enemies. But 5, yeah, the thing about 5, I'm sure you noticed Nero doesn't have the demon arm anymore. Now he has a crazy sci-fi arm designed for him by that mechanic chick.
Yeah.
So, you saw the bit from the near the end where it looks like a guy in a hood is ripping the arm off of Nero, right?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, you missed that whole bit near the end of the trailer?
Yes, I probably did.
A man,
Like,
a man in
I
a
remember I remember seeing Nero, and then I looked down and looked back up, and it just said Devil May Cry 5 or something like that.
damn. You must have looked down for a long time because that was a long trailer. But yeah, there's a man in a hood and a cloak that we see rip the original devil arm off of Nero, and that's of course how Nero gets his cyborg arm. But the thing is, Maximilian. What? I think the guy from Yo Video Games. I think his name is. I think he is called Maximilian Dude on YouTube. Like, actually.
Oh, right, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
actually paused at the perfect time and then zoomed in, and you can see that the man in the hood and the cloak, his gauntlet is the exact same as Virgil's gauntlets from back in the day.
Oh.
It's the exact same. So Virgil has come back to rip Nero's arm off. And I don't know if you ever heard of this little tidbit of lore, but more than likely, Nero is the son of Virgil and a prostitute.
Oh.
So,
I see.
So Virgil has come back to rip his son's arm off. And I'm really curious what that's going to mean. Like, I think it's because, didn't Nero absorb the old Yamato sword into his devil arm in Devil May Cry 4?
No idea.
I think he did. So Virgil fucking ripped his son's arm off so he could get his damn sword back. What an asshole. Let's see. So that's enough Devil May Cry 5 talk for a little bit. We gave that one way more time than any of the others got. I'm trying to remember, was there anything else off the Microsoft conference that was really notable for either of us? Or notable for the games industry as a whole? I can't particularly remember anything. Let's go ahead and move on to the Bethesda show. So Bethesda started off with a dumpster fire, as it properly should. Did you watch the Bethesda conference?
No.
Oh my god. It started off with fucking Andrew WK coming out and giving a live performance. And everyone in the...
that?
Exactly. Everyone in the audience was so beyond confused. He's an older rock star from America who would have been popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. I want to say he was the guitarist and vocalist for Plain White T's.
Never heard of them.
I don't blame you. He wasn't even really famous at the time, is the thing. I wasn't exactly happy to see him. I guess it's because they are trying to make the theme song for Rage 2 one of his songs. And it doesn't look like I may actually be wrong. For years I thought he was like with the band Plain White Tees, but I was wrong. It looks like he's just always been independent. Huh.
Oh,
Well, I guess that shows how much I know about Andrew WK, doesn't it? That's probably better for my life. Anyways, so yeah, Rage 2 is going to be a thing. Rage 1 came out to a collective meh. Nobody really cared. The only big claim to fame was John Carmack worked on it, right? No response. I'd imagine. Do you know who John Carmack is?
no.
One of the guys who made Doom, the original Doom.
I see. Oh, right. Isn't he the guy who reversed his voice to be the main boss of 2 or something?
That was John Romero.
Right.
John Romero and John Carmack are known as the kind of duo because John Romero was all personality and John Carmack was not. John Carmack was mostly known for having come up with the crazy ass systems that Doom ran on that were absurdly innovative for the time. Like a lot of the 3D modeling and like the lighting system, which the lighting system in Doom was crazy. Like it's still kind of crazy now. He's known as like one of the biggest technical geniuses and innovators of games development. He's also kind of a jackass, at least in my opinion, because he's had a history of saying that video games shouldn't focus on story very much. So for me, it's just like, you're an innovator, and I respect that, but fuck you. But you've probably heard of John Romero before, because he's a big personality, and he made Daikatana.
Yeah, I remember Daikatana.
And he said he was going to make you his bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, with Rage, the only thing that even like slightly interests me in Rage is that it's made by the people who made Mad Max, and I liked Mad Max, but not enough to actually buy Rage.
Wait, it's made by the people that made the Mad Max game?
I think so, yes.
I don't think it is.
Is it not?
No, because the people who made the Mad Max game will be working on Just Cause 4 right now. I'm pretty sure that's the same development team. Like I'm looking it up right now, but I don't think you're right. I think it's still id Games that are working on Rage. And they made the first one. Yeah, the developer for Mad Max was Avalanche Studios. Avalanche Studios made Just Cause, Just Cause, Just Cause. Oh, they did work on Rage 2. What the fuck?
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I would be even remotely interested in. But what the thing that I liked about Just Cause, I don't like Just Cause. The thing that I liked about Mad Max is that well, it was the fighting style and the whole how do I put it? Well, they
You liked it was an Assassin's Creed game.
yeah, basically yes.
Yeah, that's not going to be Rage 2, I guarantee you. Rage 2 looked at least mildly interesting because the trailer was really put together. And it looked like they were introducing some new interesting mechanics, like some crazy anti-gravity shit. And it looked like they're introducing superpowers and crazy stuff. So that could be interesting. It's one of those games that, on one hand, it might just flop immediately, or it could be like a sleeper hit, you know? I could definitely see Rage 2 being a sleeper hit. Or a nothing.
Post-apocalyptic Johnny Gat homie.
I guess.
Yeah, when you said superpowers, I will never not think of whenever anybody says superpowers in video games. I will never not think of Saints Row 4 and how Saints Row it is.
And how awful it is?
Yes.
That was the worst implementation of superpowers I've seen in a video game in a long while. Now that's hyperbole because there are absolutely worse games with superpowers, but I just want to say that because I hate Saints Row 4. So that's about all we're going to say about Rage 2. I don't think it's a game either of us are particularly interested in. Moving on to
Yeah,
other
so
games.
moving on.
Doom.
Fallout 76.
Wait, hang on. That was later in the show. Doom Eternal. So, did you get to play the reboot, the Doom reboot?
I played the demo.
Okay, it's damn good, isn't it?
Um, I mean, it's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, it was damn good. I have not finished the first. I've not finished the reboot yet because I'm still iffy on whether or not I want to actually, record it and upload it or stream it or something. So I've not gotten around to finishing it, but it's a damn good game, and I'm definitely going to finish at some point. And I'm interested
Yeah.
to see what this could do. Though I am a
Yeah,
little wary because the only thing they said about Doom Eternal, they showed that it's hell on Earth. Finally, they were going back to Earth. But their main thing going into it was just saying, hey, there's twice the amount of demons. Like, okay.
It's also Archwalls again.
Also, what?
Archwalls. I think that's what they're called.
I do not.
The demons that raise the roof and then make you burn with it.
I do not remember a demon like that existing at all. But then again, I was never good at the demon names in Doom. I know the Keika demon. I know the fiend. I know the fiends. Nope, not fiend. Imps.
Yeah, imps.
I know Keika demons, imps, zombies, and Hell Knights. I know Hell Knights, but that's about it.
The Archwalls are like these skinny things that have burning hands or something, and then they raise their hands up and you burn with it because they have like an AoE attack.
Okay, I've never seen those in any of the games. Right.
I think they were in 2.
Okay, because I've only played the first Doom and I've played the reboot.
I see.
Doom Eternal's big thing is it's going to be including all the demons that were left out from the first game. So like the spider droid things, those are.
Oh yeah, masterminds or whatever.
Yeah, those are going to be in too. And the thing is, they doubled the amount of demons. There are not enough missing demons, so that means they're going to be making new demons for once, actually.
Oh.
So that could be interesting.
Is there still so much of an emphasis on the finisher moves?
Probably, but I think maybe you and I probably have played similarly in Doom in terms of we both focused a lot on melee to try and conserve ammo, and it wound up putting us in situations where we kept seeing the same fatality animations over and over and over.
No, I actually don't like the finisher thing. Well, I don't like how it's your only option to kill people because they turn into bullet sponges on the last hit.
They don't turn into bullet sponges. It's still Doom.
Do they not? I remember like shooting like 5 shots point blank into a imp.
Okay,
In the
that
demo.
definitely didn't happen unless you're playing as on insane difficulty.
No idea.
Okay, because imps definitely died to one point blank shotgun blast. Because I remember at least multiple occasions in the Doom reboot where I wanted to weaken an imp with a shotgun blast and then do a fatality on it, but instead I just killed it, and I was like, fuck. Also, isn't it the chainsaw that makes them explode into ammo?
No idea.
I think it's the chainsaw that makes them explode into ammo. Just doing a regular melee fatality.
I think it just gives you health.
Yeah, I think it just heals you. Yeah. And I definitely remember there being several points in the game where you don't want to do melee fatalities because they'll just leave you wide open because everybody shreds your ass while you're busy beating a guy to death with his own arm. But yeah, Doom Eternal could be interesting. We'll wait until we see more gameplay.
Yeah.
The next on the list, oh, wait. There's still another one before Fallout 76. Because there is, I already forgot it. Wolfenstein. They're making a Wolfenstein co-op game. Yay! I bought Wolfenstein New Order on PC and have
Check
never.
it out.
I bought Wolfenstein New Order on PC and was never able to get it to work. But hey, new Wolfenstein! Yay! Have you played any of the new Wolfenstein games? Because I haven't.
I haven't played the old ones either, so
I don't blame you. They're fucking old. Even older than Doom.
yeah, Doom was my first FPS. Like I remember the first 5 games of mine being like Super Mario, Adventure Island, Contra, freaking Doom, and then there was this like strategy game that I can't remember the name of for the life of me. Like I don't even remember the logo or anything. I just remember having to walk around the map picking up people to put into your party.
Yeah, that doesn't ring any bells for me, but I'm not an expert on old strategy games. That sounds more like an old RPG though.
I think it was like a mix or something like that. I don't remember.
Hmm.
I only remember that you start on like grasslands and you walk up for like half a minute and you're already in lava or
Ah,
something like that.
probably a lot of old PC games were like that. So yeah, Wolfenstein Co-op. I don't know. That's probably not a game I'm going to play unless it goes on Game Pass.
Yeah, same. By the way,
I spent
speaking of Game Pass and co-op, get yourself freaking Insider Hub on Xbox.
what?
I an Insider Hub program or software rather. I've been in the Vermintide beta for 2 days waiting for you, and then I remember that you're not in the Insider Hub or whatever.
And Insider. We'll have to talk about this after the recording because
Yeah,
I
I just wanted.
want to keep the E3 train rolling. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat so we don't forget. But keeping the E3 train rolling, the next thing to come up on the Bethesda E3 show was Fallout 76. So that's a game that will, if it goes on Game Pass, we'll have a load of fun with. If it doesn't, fuck it.
Yeah,
Because
pretty much.
yeah, it's multiplayer Fallout, and that with pretty much probably no story, because you can't do massively multiplayer online story. Definitely not in the Fallout format. But I do have to say that if the three of us could get Game Pass and play online in a world, that would be a ton of fun. Because we'd just build a fucking band. I
And
was.
then we shoot each other.
I can't see that happening, but I was iffy on the concept of multiplayer Fallout until I saw that you could build a tuba, a piano, and a harp, and just have your entire team play music on it. I want there to be a music instrument you can carry with you, so that we can do a fucking Sea of Thieves and have one of us just carrying music around.
I was going to say like we're gonna build a ship and unlock people in the brig, and they'll sail nowhere.
Yeah, a ship in the middle of landlocked ass West Virginia. We're just on a ship in the middle of a fucking forest. And I'm just yelling at Pink, drop anchor! Boys, I think.
And I'm drinking next to the keg.
Boys, I'm gonna be honest. I think we beached her. And Pink's like.
Captain's log, year 3058. This has been the 3000th year we've been in this beach. the, the ship is not on stock yet.
Pink's getting slapped in the face with like tree leaves, and he's like, "Are you sure we beached her? I think we can get out of this. Throw her in reverse."
Yeah, and then that claw just comes and kills us.
A nuke drops on us.
Yeah,
That.
that claw with a fat man just spawns.
Oh no! Did you see the part where you can actually launch nuke? Oh, you didn't see the trailer. Oh my god! I forgot you didn't see the trailer. So there are nuclear bases, actual nuclear silos in the game, with actual full-on nuclear warheads, and players can capture them. And if they know how, they can launch nuclear missiles at other cities.
I see.
So, prepare to build your massive tower only for XX. Oh, what's a good stupid edgelord name? XX Noob Slayer XX to fucking drop a nuke on your tower.
Which is why we're going to play on a private server.
Probably. Probably. But even then, we're gonna be like, alright, we built the house. Oh no, death claws.
Yeah. It's just gonna be 3D Terraria. We'll live in a hole.
I'm not sure that's possible unless we just stay in the vault, which may be a possibility. Hey, the vault could make a good house. You never know.
Yeah, but can I build a levitating house, a levitating hotel that runs on communism from the vault?
I think you can. You played with Fallout 4's building system, right?
No.
Okay, you absolutely can. You don't have
The
to.
only thing
You don't have to observe the laws of physics in the Fallout building system.
The only thing that I built in Fallout 4 was an arcade machine that let me access my cheat engine.
Of course. Yeah, so the main takeaway I got from watching the 76 trailer was, motherfucker, they sold us a prototype. Fallout 4 was a fucking prototype for this. Like, seriously. You see 76 in action. Fallout 4 was only a prototype. And I can't get over it. The building system was a prototype. The new combat systems, the new melee systems, prototype. The slow motion VAT system was a prototype because now we just have to deal with VATs at full speed. Because there is no slow-mo.
Which kind of eliminates the point of VATs, I think.
You can still use it as an auto-aim feature, but it would be a shitty auto-aim feature because since VATS runs on a percentage to hit chance, that means that it's probably going to miss all the shots that you would have hit if you would have actually taken the shot.
Yeah.
It'll be absolutely useless in melee. Whatever. That's definitely a dumb fun thing. If we get it given to us for free in 2 years. But until then,
if Gaben falls down from the skies and gives us Fallout 76 for free on Xbox for whatever reason.
Yeah, Gaben comes down. Gabe fucking Newell is like, "Hey, Microsoft, I'm in charge now, bitch." Gabe Newell just fucking comes in and hits Bill Gates with a pile driver.
No, they will broadcast Bill Gates live, and then he pulls off the mask and it's Gaben. It's been yeah.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. Oh, son of a bitch. So
and then the immediate announcement of the Xbox Steam merger.
Hey, that saved me some time, man.
I mean, it would most definitely give us a better store.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even if it would be filled with freaking 90% visual novels.
90% animu.
Yeah. So yeah. What was after that? Elder Scrolls, I think.
They showed 5-second teasers of both Starfield. They just showed a satellite orbiting a planet, and it's like, hey, that's the game. And it's like, okay, so we still don't know what the fuck Starfield is. Wonderful.
I mean,
I'm glad.
I'm glad. Just the hovering. Go ahead.
I'm glad Bethesda showed up to E3 so that they could inform us of something we already fucking knew.
So yeah, just a hovering satellite is actually a pretty good description of more like a lot of space games coming out right now. I'd say.
Possibly. Oh, we didn't mention Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk came at the end of the Microsoft show.
Oh yeah, he did.
And I've not finished Witcher 3 still. I've still not even bothered to really play it past the first hour or so. But Cyberpunk looks incredible. Cyberpunk taps perfectly into the kind of setting I'd be interested in. Because, like, I heard about before being grim and gritty, and I don't care for that. It's like, yawn. Who else isn't doing that today? But the kind of, like, I dug what he said, the narrator said, describing the place as kind of a get rich or die trying scenario. Where it's like, it's a shitty dystopia, but it's the kind of shitty dystopia where it's like that. It's not a shitty dystopia because everything sucks and everything is grim and gritty. It's the kind of dystopia that's a dystopia because everyone is an asshole and trying to fuck each other over for the slightest bit of cash. And that's the kind of dystopia setting I love. And not only that, the setting just plain looked beautiful. It's very colorful. And all the character designs looked fucking cool. And I don't imagine you've got too much to say here.
I don't like sci-fi, so just going by that, I'm more of a steampunk guy. Like it, as you can, like I'm actually a more history slash whatever guy than I am a future, because even though whenever I go, freaking people look at me for tech advice for whatever reason. Um, I don't like most things that they depict future tech because I don't know. I actually have no real reason not to like it. I just don't.
It may be because you've not found the right setting that you like. I know that I like. I've never had any interest in Star Trek. Never watched it. I always watched Star Wars as a dumb sci-fi fun series, but I've never really looked at it seriously in the same way a lot of other people do. But I really dug Mass Effect when I got into it. So, you know, different sci-fi settings handle things very differently. Very, very differently.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I wasn't impressed by Cyberpunk the same way most people seem to be. But then again, I haven't been waiting for it for the past decade, so
Yeah. Oh man, has it been a decade that they've been working on that?
no idea.
I know it's been a long ass time since CD Projekt Red said they were working on that. But yeah, let's move on to the last Bethesda thing because we're already sitting at an hour and 10 minutes, and we said we wanted this to be a shorter podcast. So, the last thing they showed on the Bethesda conference, fucking Elder Scrolls 6. They showed us a shot panning over the sky of just a little like valley with a village in the middle, and that was it. They didn't even say where it was gonna be. And I
Isn't the subtitle like Blades or something?
no. That's the new mobile game they're making.
Oh, I see.
This one they gave us nothing. It's Elder Scrolls 6. That's it.
I see. So in the mobile game, how many hearts do you have to eat daily?
You joke, but there are healing items present in the form of like giant hearts, I think. So
Bloody hell.
it's like cartoonized hearts, but still. But going back to the Elder Scrolls 6, I find it funny that they've pretty much only done this so that people would stop fucking asking for, hey, show off Elder Scrolls 6 at every E3. You know?
Yeah, I
A little bit to keep them on the line, but enough to get them to shut up, you know?
yeah, just release an Elder Scrolls 6 demo that's actually just a hut, like the inside of a hut, with no weapons and nothing at all.
Dude, the Elder Scrolls fans would tear apart that little hut for every little detail to learn everything about the game. They'd figure out the entire fucking plot of that game from the hut.
But yeah, like I imagine something like, it's not even a new model. It's just a thing from Skyrim. It's like
Oh,
some generic, just some generic S hut from Skyrim with slightly better lighting.
a generic ass hut.
Yes.
All right, that would be awesome if they released an Elder Scrolls 6 demo and it was $60 for some reason, and you get it and it's just fucking Skyrim.
Yeah. Not even a special edition. It's just freaking 0.1 vanilla.
Yeah, you gotta get all the updates and you gotta buy the DLC again. You gotta buy the HD textures. Ah. But yeah, there's some speculation about the location of Elder Scrolls 6 because that's the big thing. You know, everybody was saying, hey, we want Elsewhere. We want to see a jungle in Elder Scrolls. Well, it's not Elsewhere. At least it certainly doesn't look like it. Early on, there was some speculation it would be High Rock, which is the place where the Bretons are from. And the issue with that being that Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall already took place in High Rock. So I'm doubtful. Now I think there's more speculation that it's going to be Hammerfell, the big old desert where the Redguard are from. Which would be way more interesting than another generic fantasy location of, hey, look, mountains, valleys, forests, dragons, knights, yawn.
Yeah.
The worst.
Go ahead.
I'll just say the worst possibility here is if they just go back to Tamriel. Or no, Cyrodiil. Excuse me, Cyrodiil.
I have no idea what any of these places are, so I only know Elsewhere, I think.
Cyrodiil was the place of Oblivion. It's the Imperial place.
Oh, I see.
So if they just went back to the most generic fantasy setting of them all.
Yeah, Elsewhere would be interesting how they handle it because isn't it like inhabited by mostly Khajiit?
Yes, I think that's the biggest issue. Well, I think the first issue is the fact that jungles are very graphically intensive because they're loaded to the brim with shit. It's very dense. But I think the bigger issue is the fact that everybody is Khajiit. And I think to some degree, Bethesda thinks that audiences wouldn't be able to. Well, it would break immersion for a lot of people just having an entire world filled with cat people. And they wouldn't be able to take it seriously.
I mean, just imagine walking down this jungle, like this jungle, like jungle settlement with huts, and as you walk past, like you have a good relationship with this village. So as you walk past the village, you just hear Khajiit guards your back, Khajiit guards your back, ad infinitum.
Everyone is Maik.
Yes.
Every shopkeeper is like, Khajiit has goods if you have coin. That, we're joking here, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and there's a reason I always play Khajiit in Elder Scrolls. I don't even like cats. I hate cats so much, but I like Khajiit because they're freaking stupid.
My favorite, one of my absolute favorite stupid pictures off the internet is that picture of the zookeeper trying to drag a lion back into its cage, and the lion doesn't want to go in, so they have to drag the lion by its hind legs, and the lion's digging its front claws into the dirt, trying to stop them. And it's, Khajiit is innocent of this crime. Khajiit is falsely accused.
Yeah, Khajiit, the only good thing about Elder Scrolls. Well, post Skyrim Elder Scrolls.
The red guards are cool, and I'm always down for wood elves. And dark elves, but fuck the high elves. Elder Scrolls probably has the worst version of orcs, though. I'll be honest.
Do they even have orcs?
They do. They're one of the playable races, remember?
No, as I've said, I'm always Khajiit.
They kind of range in skin tone from green to like kind of darkish brown, and they've got little fangs poking out the corners of their mouths.
Oh yeah. I'm starting to remember.
Yeah, they're skinnier than the average fictional orc is the thing. Oh man, could you imagine if we went to the place of the orcs? If it was an entire game world filled with orcs? That would be completely turning fantasy tropes on its head. An entire fantasy game where the average civilian is orcs, and they're the police force and they're the government.
Yeah.
That'd be like the complete opposite. And maybe the monsters are all knights in shining armor and elves and dwarves. We must fight against the scourge of the chaotic humans.
Yeah.
The humans are a plague that cannot be stopped. They expand rapidly.
And then the Night Wizard just summons Ymir.
Yeah. Shit.
Wasn't there a guy who was basically just Ymir as as one of the bosses?
In which game?
Skyrim. I think it was one of the DLCs.
I don't remember there being a frost giant in the vein of Ymir, but there might have been. I didn't get very. My thing with Skyrim was I'd always start up new playthroughs. I never got too far into a playthrough. I'd only get like 20 or so hours into a playthrough and start up a new one, you know?
Yeah, I got a cheat engine for that as well, so I didn't have to bother with the game. And I lost interest really fast.
That's understandable. Skyrim is not a great game.
But yeah, I remember in one of the, not Dragonborn, the other DLC I want to say, like there was this. I don't know. It was like this secret boss that you could unlock by going all over the place, and I think he was like the second or first hardest boss to beat.
There was the Dawnguard DLC. That was the one about vampires. Oh, what was it? No. I'm thinking of a different one. Yeah, I think that Dawnguard, the one that let you build houses, the one about vampires, and the one that let you go to Solstheim were the 3 DLCs, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it might have been in Solstheim, where in like the mountains there was this throne, and if you went to the different edges of the map, then you could find what's the things called again? They're little like goblins that you can choose to side with or kill. Reichling, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
I remember those. Yeah.
yeah. So you could kill the Reiklings in the caves, and then you could find the like three pieces that you need together, and then go back to the throne and put them on the throne, and an ice giant would just spawn and kill you.
Yeah, I only remember hearing about one Skyrim secret boss. There was the one dragon that you could summon in what's the
In the underground thing, yeah.
yeah, by digging around with the orb or something. Right.
Yeah, I think if you shoot the orb or shout at it or something.
I think it was shout at it. Yeah. So yeah, we don't know anything about Elder Scrolls 6. It was pretty much just confirmed to exist. So we can only really speculate. We're already sitting at an hour and 20 minutes on the footage here. So we probably want to go ahead and move along to the next conference, which was
Devolver.
Devolver. I watched it. It was batshit insanity in the best possible way. Have you ever watched the Eric Andre show?
No.
Okay, you've definitely seen the memes that have come from it, though.
The one where he shoots a guy and then he says why he would do this.
Well, how could Hannibal do this to himself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
that
I
one.
saw that.
Yeah, so the Eric Andre show was designed as a talk show in the vein of, like, you know, the old style, like David Letterman or something. They bring a celebrity on and have them talk to Eric Andre, but the idea was that the scenario would get increasingly absurd to try and make the celebrity as uncomfortable as possible, or at least just to see their reaction. And it started off like with shit like Eric Andre or Hannibal Buress acting really weird, like getting bizarrely sexual, or just pulling out like a full chicken dinner or a full turkey dinner and eating it in the middle of grabbing a burger, pulling a burger out from underneath the desk. Then it escalates a little bit, like something weird happens, like Eric Andre's mug is glued to the desk, or whenever Eric Andre takes his mug off his desk, coffee starts shooting out of a jet in the desk. And eventually it gets to the point where, like, Eric Andre strips naked and runs around the stage, or he pulls out a gun and shoots Hannibal Buress, or they pull out a naked intern and drag him onto the stage and Eric Andre beats the shit out of him. Basically, it's my kind of batshit insanity, right?
I see.
Yeah, you have been enlightened. So basically, the Devolver Digital show was more or less that. They bring out this chick. Oh, what was her? I don't want to get her name wrong, but she's amazing. She should be hosting every E3 conference. She comes out. She spends the entire show talking about, like, basically digging on the gaming industry for all kinds of stuff. Like, they introduced Lootbox Coin, a cryptocurrency that doesn't exist and has no value. And they call it the Lootbox Coin because you don't know the value until you get it.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah. She came out and called all the audience a bunch of stupid brain-dead monkeys, and they laughed. Because the whole thing was pre-filmed with, like, a audience of actors. Because, you know, at several points, characters on the stage got killed. And, you know, I don't imagine they'd need a live audience getting splashed with blood or something. And you know it's a good show when it ends with the host getting murdered, and then it ends with them turning into a cyborg. So, that, I think her name was Nina Struthers, but I may have gotten that wrong. It's probably just the name of the character. It's probably a different actress. Different name for the actress, but they didn't actually reveal any notable games. They're going to make another kind of survival game. They made a goofy shooter where you play as a guy being told by a banana to kill people. And I don't know if you recognize this name. If you do recognize this name, you're gonna shit your pants. They're remastering Metal Wolf Chaos.
It does ring a bell.
It's the game about the president of the United States pilots a mech to kick ass.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So the thing is, they announced the remastering of that game with From Software's support, which it is fucking astounding. That game was made by From Software. From Software. The guys who made Dark Souls. and Bloodborne. And now they're making Sekiro, I believe it was called.
Sekiro, I think.
Yeah. Which
Yeah, but
speaking of
yeah.
Sekiro, it looked really cool. I'm ordinarily not a Soulsborne kind of guy, but Sekiro looked really fucking cool.
To me, it just looked like Neo
Yeah,
with a different protagonist.
yeah. And I didn't care
Which
about
I mean,
Neo, but yeah, going back, Metal Wolf Chaos. And guess what they made the fucking hashtag that they marketed it with?
what?
Mech America Great Again.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Yeah, I hope in the next Souls game we get the freaking President driving Kamek as a boss.
That I would buy that game. I say that jokingly, but I wouldn't. But yeah, so that was Delightful Insanity, and that's pretty much the Devolver Digital Conference. It only lasted like a half hour, so they didn't really have much to say. Moving on to June 11th, the first conference was the Square Enix conference. Not much happened. They showed off a bit more about Just Cause 4, and it looks kind of fascinating that they're introducing a new, like, dynamic weather system. And most games, when they introduce dynamic weather systems, they don't actually matter, you know? It's just like, oh, now it rains sometimes, but it only ever rains like once a year, right?
Yeah.
Right. And the rain never looks good. It's just a stupid, shitty effect they add. Like, there's very few games that actually go for the full rain effect of having dirt turn to mud and having pavement get slick and all that. I feel like weather is one of the most underappreciated possibilities in gaming, you know? Like, we need a game that has full-on snowstorms and big thunderstorms and rain that has all the proper effects it does in real life. And Just Cause 4 is introducing fucking tornadoes.
Oh.
And in any other game, that might have just some odd effect where it just causes damage. But this is Just Cause 4. This is Just Cause. The series already known for its crazy physics bullshit. So we already have got to see a clip of what it looks like when a tornado rolls over a military base. It looks incredible. Because it's just picking up tanks and people and built like fences and power generators. And it's just chucking shit all over the place. And I'm just like, I can't buy another Just Cause game because they just don't have the gameplay meat to keep me there. But damn, this is a good direction to go in to try and hook me back.
I tried Just Cause 2, and being a person who doesn't play for destruction, basically, I was bored.
Oh
in
yeah,
15 minutes.
absolutely. The Just Cause gameplay is awful. Like, the gunplay might as well not exist, you know?
Yeah. Like the only way that I could see us, like all of us playing Just Cause would be to introduce an online service like the old like freaking bootleg ass online multiplayer servers for 2.
Oh my god, I wish you could have set up private servers for that. Because that would have been incredible if we got the three of us into that.
But otherwise, I don't see myself ever even thinking about buying Just Cause before that happens.
I'll say this, it looked like they're introducing some crazy stuff like big, heavy soldiers that are wearing crazy mech armor. If Just Cause wants to really get where people want it, just throw logic to the wall and introduce superpowers and crazy sci-fi shit like that. Introduce superhero shit. Give us Iron Man suits. Give us super speed. Give us actual power. Like, give us superpowered enemies and crazy stuff like that.
In Just Cause 5, you will play as Raiden from Revengeance.
Dude, I would be so fucking happy if that happened. They need to give us a giant mech boss fight, like not like a 10-foot tall mech, a 100-foot tall mech.
Just just give us Galactus made of metal.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a game to do a Galactus boss fight in with the grappling hook and everything.
Yeah.
The wingsuit flying around in the wingsuit around Galactus would look awesome, honestly. What else did Square Enix talk about? Guess what? Final Fantasy XIV is getting more content. Who could have expected it? Dun dun dun. Yeah, I don't think. I think that both of you and I probably have negative amounts of attention to Final Fantasy 14.
I don't care about Final Fantasy at all. So,
Also, the new Tomb Raider's coming out. It looks like it's going to be very similar to the last two Tomb Raiders in terms of the game starts off. Lara is very innocent. Lara just wants to help people. And over the course of the game, Lara's murder boner gets steadily stronger. And by the end of the game, she solves all of her problems by brutally killing everybody. And then
as we all should.
and then she's really sad about it. And she's like, I'm becoming a monster. And then the next game, she kills more people.
And then we roll credits to Monster by freaking Skillet.
Shut up.
Is it a Skillet song? So, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I heard you bring up the band Skillet, and I was like, shut up.
I'm not sure if it's 3 Days Grace or Skillet, but one of them has a shitty song called Monster.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they both do.
I know that they have a song ripping off each other's songs. So
I'd imagine that's quite common between those two. But the main takeaway here is this new one is introducing crazy, like, snake eater shit. Like climbing through the trees and sneaking through the vines and shit. And, like, we have not gotten a Snake Eater-esque stealth experience since Snake Eater. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I've only played MGS5. So
Yeah, but you know what Snake
Kind
Eater
of.
is. And you know that 5 was kind of lacking in the stuff that Snake Eater had in terms of, like, being able to climb through trees and all that shit. And it had the camouflage mechanic, but not really. You know?
yeah.
It wasn't a big focus. So I am really interested to see where that goes. Other than that, I've still not finished the first Tomb Raider because it crashes for me at a certain point every time. So
You can play the second one on Xbox. It's in Game Pass.
okay, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, it's basically the same game as the first one, so you won't be missing out on much from the first one. Only like one guy dying, and they might bring it up. I'm not sure, and that's it.
Well, yeah, I could probably read spoilers for that on the internet. Let's see.
But other than that, yeah.
Out of the Square Enix conference, I don't think there's much else. They showed more or less the same trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 as they did for Microsoft, except slightly different. So, who cares? And that might have been it for the Square Enix conference, unless I'm missing anything big. I don't think they showed off Final... Oh, they didn't show off the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they didn't show off the Avengers game. So everyone was confused as hell. Like, why make your own conference if you're not going to show off the two big products everyone's hyped for? Because, like, what was everyone's big takeaway that they wanted out of the Square Enix conference? Final Fantasy VII and Avengers. What did we not get? Final Fantasy VII and Avengers. So, yeah, the Square Enix show, a little bit of a clusterfuck. Then there's Ubisoft. I tried to stick around for Ubisoft. I saw Trials. I saw that stupid Just Dance musical number they pulled, and that made me want to kill myself. And what else was there? I saw a little bit of The Division, right? Let's not talk about that. And was there a racing game?
Bloody. They might. I don't think they talked about the crew. Oh, by the way, yeah. Next week, you can download it already. Next week, the open beta for the True Crew. Yes, the Crew 2 will be opened up.
Ooh, all right, we'll have to play it then. Because I wasn't. Ordinarily, I'm not interested in like racing games like that. But the fact that you can turn into a plane and that whole thing you showed makes me way more interested.
Yeah. I don't usually need to play racing games either. It's just, they sent me an email saying that there was a beta. I was like, okay, I'll try it, and it's actually not that bad. Like, it's not worth $60, I don't think, but if you can get it for like under 30, then you might want to consider it.
All right, I'll definitely be looking into the beta whenever we can try it out. Let's see.
I think it starts on the 21st as well.
That's a day
Yes, it
before.
is.
That's a day before my birthday.
Oh, but yeah, aside from that, they also talked about well, they showed that trailer for Beyond Good and Evil too.
Right, right. And now, spoilers: Jade is evil for some reason.
I think this is a prequel, so
Yes,
Jade was evil.
Jade was evil, I guess. Yeah, I I don't know. I haven't gotten far enough in Beyond Good and Evil 1 to really know what's going on, but it seems like making Jade evil seems like a stupid decision.
That's because it is. I don't think there was anything that would give it away that she was evil at one point. And I think it was said that before the first game she was like a reporter or something. So I guess she was an evil reporter.
She's still a reporter in the first game.
Then yeah, she went from evil reporter to slightly less evil reporter. Then I guess.
I suppose. Is there such a thing as a reporter that isn't evil in the modern day?
That's why I'm saying slightly less evil instead of good.
Okay. So yeah, I've so far I don't have any interest in Beyond Good and Evil 2 because they haven't showed very good. They've chosen very piss poor sections of the gameplay, right? Because they've showed
Yeah,
it off as very much a kind of, hey, you know what was a massive failure? No Man's Sky. Let's imitate that. Or am I
yeah.
confusing it
I
with
mean,
another game? I may be
no,
confusing it
I
with an.
think I think you're right. I think it's like this, like sort of like I will freaking mess this up again, but it's sort of like an MMO thing where you will be connected with basically everybody who else who's playing the game, I think, or something like that, or they may be considered it. I'm not sure. But
Right.
either way, it's gonna be an online thing where you can just cruise aimlessly through this space, and that somehow freaking makes gameplay now, I guess.
Right, but they made a CG trailer, though. Don't you
Yeah,
love their CG trailers? This choice is so astounding to me. Because what did everybody love about Beyond Good and Evil 1? Its story, its heart, and its soul. Beyond Good and Evil felt like a Pixar game. It felt like you were playing a Pixar game. So, the sequel will be an MMO that is pretty much a knockoff of a failed attempt at a flash in the pan game. So, a game with no story, no heart, and no soul. And no Pixar.
yeah. But yeah, probably I'll be able to speak about it once upon a time because I'm probably also in the beta for that. I think you I think Ubisoft just kind of assumes at this point that I probably want to be in their betas.
Well, if there is an
I
open beta for it, I suppose I'd try it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think I signed up for the beta like last year. They've been sending me emails asking me about my opinion ever since then.
And you respond to them?
I responded to one that they sent like a week after last year's E3, but ever since then, no, not really.
Uh, okay.
Yeah,
Eh,
you don't want to know how many emails I get from Ubisoft asking like, what did you think about this game? Please freaking fill our survey.
God. Other than that, I only saw Trials, I think, and yep, that's a Trials game, all right.
Yep, I'm in the beta for that as well. I'm also in the beta for the Division 2, just because might as well. It's more game to make content about.
If we can get
Yeah.
into the beta, then we might give it a try. I don't know. It
I
looks kind of like a generic shooter to me. I don't know.
I mean, we can check out the first game. It's in Game Pass. I have it downloaded. I'm waiting for you to on that as well.
Oh, the
Um,
first division is on Game Pass?
yeah,
Okay, I guess we're going to have to look into that. I'll see what I can do. But,
yeah, it's like 40 gigs, so you're gonna have to freaking consider it. But what was I going to say? Like they also revealed Assassin's Creed Odyssey as a thing that exists, and
that is all you, man. I'm ducking out.
yeah, I was about to ask if you want to pretend like this is going to be a discussion, or should I just start yelling for the next 30 minutes? So yeah, where do I start? Um, I'm actually a lot less angry about it now. Like, I went through the 5 stages of grief. So I'm at the grief. I'm at the acceptance by now because I actually mourned this series, kind of. Like, as, oh, you actually muted yourself as well, huh? I guess you really did leave. Rather than an audience, I guess it's just the two of us, approximately. Yeah. So at first, I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. I'll wait for the three release or release the trailer rather, and then I'll decide what I think about it. And really, it's not that different from Origins, but that's kind of my problem because what isn't different is not something that I really liked, and what is different is something that they removed so that I won't like it. Like, we have a shit ton of sailing, of course. At this point, I don't think I need to tell you how much I hate sailing again. So, moving past that, the Hidden Blade was removed. I mean, whatever. You know, it's only the lightsaber equivalent of the series, but whatever. They removed the hoods. I don't actually care about it that much because it's just a freaking fashion item. Social status is still nowhere to be found. I don't think there's a freaking Brotherhood system either, where you can call upon your tradies or whatever. Which is kind of, to be fair, it kind of makes sense because it's before the Brotherhood. But still, it would have been a fun mechanic because it's a fun mechanic. Other than that, it's just the whole feel. Like, when I look at Origins, I see a game that's kind of sort of in the middle of being Assassin's Creed, like even more so than 4. Because in 4, you still were able to use the Hidden Blade as a weapon. You still had a hooded, rather than that, whatever, the hooded robes, because, who gives a shit? But still, you could use the Hidden Blade, you could use stealth, you could use social stealth, which is really the point that needs to be pointed out with that, and like, even though 90% of the gameplay was just sail to point B, which is what bored me so much, still, it still had that, like, people say that the counter kill mechanic sucked ass, and I mean, it wasn't challenging, I gave you that, but it was a fighting mechanic that at least set the game apart, and I wouldn't mind if after this they go to an Arkham-like fighting mechanic because Arkham just perfected theirs, so, But yeah, so now with Odyssey, they removed, well, the Hidden Blade was a thing. They added more fantasy elements, which I don't like because I have played Assassin's Creed for the Assassins and I have played Assassin's Creed for the history. So, like, it's fine to fight Medusa. It's fine. I don't give a shit. I honestly don't care that much because it's their IP, but then Medusa is a mythological figure. And whilst, fighting Medusa could be a fun trip, like fighting freaking Serapis or whoever it was, I don't really remember, in Odyssey. Just, it's just such a cop-out, even if it's a trip, and if it's not, if it's just actually just a thing saying that Medusa did exist, then, why did Medusa exist when freaking, say, in the AC lore, I think it's said that Jesus used an AoE to make his miracles. So, like, how can one mythological figure do mythological things when the other can't?
Did you Okay, first I came back to hear Jesus has AoE attacks, which on one hand
Not AoE. Not AoE, I messed up. That would be an interesting addition to Smite, though.
I come back to Jesus has AoE attacks. I'm like, okay, now I'm interested in Assassin's Creed. Holy shit! What the fuck?
I meant AOP,
Where does where
not
does
AOP,
Jesus
PoE.
Christ
Not A-
where does
I'm just
Jesus
messing
Christ
up
fit
my
into the Assassin's Creed meta strategy?
yeah. Jesus Christ is the ultimate healer. He's the best support. But yeah, um,
Also, I come back and you're saying you're comparing Jesus Christ to this whoever and saying, oh well, one mythological figure compared to another. You can't call Jesus Christ a mythological figure.
I mean, I know, but I'm trying not to bring religion into this. Is the thing. I'm trying to do hold an objective point of view and
Right?
whatever.
Who's this other person you're comparing to Jesus Christ?
Medusa,
Okay,
because you can find Medusa in freaking Odyssey.
you can call Medusa mythology because there is no one left alive that still worships her. I don't think anyone worshipped her to begin with. But there are still a lot of people who worship Jesus Christ. You can't call him mythological.
I mean, it isn't mythology. I'm not sure actually about the freaking um the definition of mythology. So whatever.
I'm not sure either, but I generally refrain from calling any of the living religions. What's wrong with me? Living religions mythologies.
But yeah, so yeah, in the new Assassin's Creed you can fight Medusa and Minotaur.
Well, that's probably more interesting than whatever Assassin's Creed Syndicate was doing, and definitely more interesting than anything Assassin's Creed Unity was doing.
Yeah, I think the problem here is that well, we discussed this to a really large extent that I'm just freaking angered by where the well, not angered anymore. I'm just disappointed in where the series is going because, as I've said, if I want to play RPGs, I'll actually go to The Witcher now because The Witcher is not a bad RPG, and whatever. If I want to play Assassin's Creed, the problem with Odyssey for me mainly is that it's losing whatever set Assassin's Creed apart. Like you can say that what set it apart was sucked, and it was shit. You can say that, but it still set it apart. Now it's losing whatever set it apart even because they removed the Hidden Blade. The Hidden Blade was the iconic weapon of Assassin's Creed. They removed hoods. Who gives a shit? It's just a clothing item, whatever.
Well,
And it's technically
hoods are
in the
gonna
game.
come back. The hoods just aren't there now, so that they can wear the Spartan helmet because the Spartan helmet's
Hoods are
iconic.
still in. Hoods are still in. They're just not incorporated. They're just not specifically incorporated into the costumes. But yeah,
Well, this is
like
like
hoods.
before the Assassin's Creed Order has even been founded, right?
Yeah, but then there's also gameplay elements that they removed with Origins and this game as well that make it just get or move past being Assassin's Creed for me. Like social stealth, while not a thing that I used a lot, was really useful when I did use it because most of my stealth was on rooftops. But when I needed to blend in with people, it helped a lot that I actually could blend in with people when it was not Unity and it was a useless skill more or less. But
Right,
you know,
right. Even though your character looked like nobody else in the entire game world, and was a big asshole wearing bright white with a hood.
my characters never wore white. Well, they did, but I switched that out fast as I could to black because at least black kind of fits in the dark. So whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
What was I going to say? But yeah, they removed the social style. They removed the fighting mechanic, which you can say that it sucked because it wasn't the best. It was really easy and all that. But I kind of like if they wanted to copy something, then at least copy Arkham, in my opinion, because Arkham took what they did and made it better.
People also are getting very sick of the Arkham melee system.
I was never not sick of this Dark Souls one, so
Right, but you're not everybody.
yeah, I know, but still, like what I'm trying to say is that Assassin's Creed is trying to appeal to everybody. Well, not everybody, but it's trying to appeal to the mainstream so much that it's losing itself, or what made it it
I'd say
because
I'd say the earlier Assassin's Creed appealed more to the mainstream. Like the earlier Assassin's Creed were some of the most mainstream games that have ever fucking mainstreamed.
I mean I don't know. Like right now, freaking open world RPGs seem to be all the rage, because of Witcher, mainly because of Witcher.
I don't know. I think
And
here they're trying to pull a little bit for more hardcore gamer cred and a little bit more credit from critics here because Syndicate and Unity did not do well with critics at all, to my understanding. Correct?
I'm not sure. I mean, Unity definitely not, but Syndicate, if I remember correctly, got a 6 to 8 or so rating.
That's not good. That's like mediocre. Because the thing is, you gotta keep in mind, a game isn't truly bad. If a game is rated 5 or anywhere near 5, then it's bad. Because the 0 to 10 rating system does not work logically. It works on if it's anywhere below 7, then it's not worth buying. You know?
Yeah.
But
So yeah.
basic,
Maybe. Yeah.
just go ahead and finish up that little thing you're talking about. I got a little thing to say.
Okay. So because of where Assassin's Creed is moving, I decided that Odyssey will be the first game I'm not buying, and I'm not gonna buy Assassin's Creed until further notice.
I was
Instead, I
legitimately
will.
about to say, okay, for all the criticisms though, are you going to still buy this one?
No, instead I'm going to buy a PS4 and buy Ghost of Tsushima because Ghost of Tsushima looks like something that logically Assassin's Creed, the one style that I liked, would have evolved into. So
We haven't got a. We've seen how the melee system works, but we haven't actually seen how it controls. So I imagine the melee system will probably be quite different. It looked like a bit more of a classically styled beat 'em up to me, but I could be wrong.
but yeah, but I like classically styled beat 'em ups and 3D beat 'em ups.
I suppose.
So you know,
Yeah.
like from what I could tell, the melee system seems to be like rhythm based, or better could I put it? I'm not sure, but basically it seems like something that's kind of like For Honors, and the parry system is what I like in For Honor, and the stun switching, and that seems to be kind of a thing in Ghost of Tsushima as well. Well, not the stun switching as much as the parrying, but I like being able to time parries and kill people like that. It's basically counter killing with only, actually having to do stuff.
Yeah.
But like mainly the thing that I like, like mainly the thing that really makes me want to play Ghost of Tsushima over Assassin's Creed is that it's not an RPG, because introducing that being able to kill people in 15 shots and hit them right to the neck really did ruin a lot of things for me, even though it never was a big problem, but still, well, it was. It was after a point, but
Yeah. Yeah, I
like
get you.
because if you have this one shot kill weapon that has been established to a one shot kill weapon to be a one shot kill weapon, and in reality, if it would be a one shot kill weapon, because if I stick a if I stick a knife into your bare neck, you should probably die.
Right,
Or
but
at least
half the time they just stick it like in the abdomen, and it's like, okay, you shredded the guy's stomach,
not
which is
in
probably
not
going
in
to.
Origins. In Origins, he mostly sticks it into people's necks, and then they get up and fight him.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, because once upon a time it was a one-shot kill when they stuck it in the abdomen. Now that they stick it in the neck, it's not a one-shot kill.
Yeah, because you need to upgrade your blade separately, and there's also these freaking mini bosses who are like 15 feet tall, and yeah,
That defies all logic.
yeah. I'm telling you, becoming an RPG is not the best thing Assassin's Creed has ever done, because
I can deal with
maybe
it becoming an RPG. My issue here is that you can stick in the guy's gut and it's fail. You stick it in the guy's neck and he lives. That's what gets me. I can deal with it being an RPG, but it's the
but
fucking.
I blame becoming an RPG just because you can. Or I blame becoming an RPG for being able to stick a knife into a guy's neck and him living.
Right, but wait. Are you trying to make a point here? Does your character actually just stab him in the gut, and you're trying to say stab him in the neck to prove a point?
No,
Okay.
no. The actual animation is him like Bayek touches their shoulder, he then pulls the hidden blade out and then sticks it into their neck, and then he throws them down to the ground if they die. If they don't, then he pulls the blade out and it initiates combat. And there are these 15 freaking feet tall guys who are mini bosses, and the guy was level 32. I was level 40. My gear was like basically all upgraded to the max. I sneak up behind the guy, I stick it in his neck, and then he turns around and hits me in the head with his mace.
Well, that was a thing in the old Assassin's Creed games. It was an issue where you'd use the Hidden Blade and just kill mini-boss type characters for free. I can see why, from a game development standpoint, they don't want that happening anymore. My issue is just the fact that they switched it to stabbing people in the neck when the Hidden Blade is no longer one-shot lethal. They should have stuck to just stabbing people in the gut, because it's much easier to survive getting stabbed in the nut. It's getting stabbed in the nuts than getting stabbed in the neck.
But
You'd survive getting stabbed in the nuts, you just wouldn't want to.
yeah, but yeah, my main problem with the mini boss still surviving is that I'm 7 levels above it. My gear is all upgraded to the max, and I still don't kill it with one shot, even with the one shot kill weapon from stealth.
Right, but it's a boss. A lower level boss can still shrug off like more than one hit. Maybe two. Who knows?
Not in Assassin's Creed. There are the Phylakitai who are actually mini bosses. Like there are mini boss type enemies, and then there are the Phylakitai who are kind of like the mini bosses, but not really. They are roamer like guys. They are basically like like you never played freaking Assassin's Creed 4. But whatever. They are like the like hunter ships in that, the Phylakitai. And with the Phylakitai, if you find them good enough, you can just if you are over leveled enough and if your gear is upgraded enough, then you can just one shot the Phylakitai with a bow without them even ever noticing you.
Right, but those are just the roamer guys. If you're encountering a dedicated mini boss, he's going to be tougher than the roamer bosses.
But the thing is that they are not dedicated mini bosses. Like they are just random as 15 feet tall dudes in random like.
Wait, are the 15-foot dudes the roamers, or are they in designated places?
They are in camps, maybe sometimes. Like they are in a couple of camps, I think.
Okay, well, if you know where to find them, then they're going to be a little bit stronger, because you don't want the roamer. If a roamer drops in on you and he's way stronger than you could possibly deal with, then that's a problem.
Well, but the Phylakitai were made to be way stronger than you and just dropping on you.
Okay, I still don't really see your problem here.
My problem is that if I can one shot one type of mini boss,
You should be able to one-shot them all.
yes, because
No.
I still can't one shot all of the actual boss.
There are levels here. There are levels here of toughness even for the tough enemies. One tough enemy does not equate all tough enemies. They should not all... It should be layering. One enemy is tougher than another, is tougher than another, is tougher than another. That's how it works. Especially in RPGs.
But yeah, but even the hardest Phylakitai, who is like as I've said, the tall guy was level 32. The hardest Phylakitai is level 35. So we'd assume that he'd be tougher than the guy who's level 32.
Not necessarily, because there's leveling, but there's also enemy types. Because, I mean, like, if we're talking... Put it into D&D logic, which is going to be a tougher individual to hurt? A level 10 wizard or a level, 8 fighter, right? You can't just say the level 10 wizard is tougher because he's level 10. The other guy is a fighter.
But yeah, but these guys are all freaking fighters.
They're all fighters, but they're
don't-
different classes of fighter. What's another good example here? You don't play many RPGs, but this is a thing that happens in every RPG, Addy. Like, a level 20, I don't know, dragon in fucking Dragon Age, why not? A level 20 dragon is going to be much tougher than a level 25 bandit.
But yeah, then the bandit is just some randomest guy in it.
Yes, but like a level 20 bandit chief is going to be tougher than a level 25 bandit. Like you're missing a basic concept of RPGs here.
I still don't get what you're saying because from what I gather, because I never played Dragon Age either, the bandits are just the basic types of enemies,
Sure.
and the bandit chiefs are their leaders.
Yes.
Yes, these are the a thing in Origins as well. But then you also have the Philakitai, the freaking roamer guys who roam out like certain set of freaking
Right, but
um
the bandit, in the same way that the bandit chief is tougher than the regular bandit, the guy that you're talking about, the enemy that you're talking about, the 15-foot, the giant would be tougher than the Phylakitai in the same way that the bandit chief would be tougher than a regular bandit.
well yeah, but the giant guys are more common than the Philakitai because
Okay,
there's
so,
a
so
well so there should be less of them then because the hardest enemies to fight in the game are the elephants. There's only four of them and you need to find them.
right, but the giants, you know where they're going to spawn. The Phylakitai, you don't know where they're going to spawn.
You know you're going to know where they spawn. They have like designated routes that they always go past.
All right. Let's move on. We're sitting at 2 hours here, and I knew we had to take out time for
So
Assassin's
yeah,
Creed.
basically, Assassin's Creed is dead to me until further notice. Long live Ghost of Tsushima. Let's hope that it won't suck.
Okay. So that's about the Ubisoft conference. There's the PC gaming conference. Let's move on. There's the Sony conference. The Sony conference was pretty good. I liked everything they had to show. They showed us Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 looks damn good. We're still moving forward with the timeline. I believe a little press release or something said that Joel won't be playable, which is weird. That Ellie is going to be the main character for Last of Us 2 and the only playable one. But the stealth looks damn good. The graphics look amazing. And I tell you, it was the best thing I've seen in a long time. What's the last game you've played where you shot an explosive at an enemy and the enemy, honest to God, gibbed? Like, just turned into chunks.
I don't remember because I don't use a lot of explosive weapons.
Okay, it's been a thing that's been sadly lacking in games. I think Gears of War has done it, and I think the most recent Doom may have done it. And I'm probably forgetting a few examples here, but Last of Us has wonderful gibbing. Because Ellie picks up an explosive arrow at one point, she fires it at a chick, and it's the best gib I've ever seen in a video game. Because not only are there the usual chunks that fly out in different directions, there's an actual full-on like blood splatter system and blood sprays in every direction. And I'm not the kind of person to, lose my mind over how awesome gore can be, but it looks incredible. Like it honestly looks like there's a big puddle of blood where that one person used to be, and it looks great. And the melee system looks like it's been innovated heavily, fixed heavily, like where it's now an actual melee system. Though it's like Ghost of Tsushima, it's difficult to tell without playing yourself, but it looks like they've made it an actual melee system rather than just mash square. And that the melee was a big part of Last of Us 1 that I felt was kind of the weakest part of the gameplay. So I'm really fascinated to see where that goes. There was Ghost of Tsushima, which both of us are very, 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 very interested in. The difference is I don't have to buy a new console to play it.
I told you to ship yours to me until I get mine, but you didn't even read it, I don't think.
Yeah, I read it. I just didn't respond. I wonder why. But that looks incredible. It looked beautiful, the beginning where he's walking through the fields. And I really dig that main character's character design. Like, I'm loving that. Like the hat and the hay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about. Yeah, I was about to say I'm not sure about the cape, but otherwise I like it as well.
I felt the cape worked really well. But once the actual fights start, though, I was like really hesitant. I was like, all right, let's see if this is actually worth anything. And then it starts with the best little samurai showdown I've seen in a while. Like, you can do the actual thing where, like, you can do the fucking thing where he pulls out the sword. It seems like a thing that should be in every samurai game, but I'm still kind of amazed that they handled it really well. The full
Yeah,
on
but
thing where you
where
whip.
you pull it out, and the guy just dies.
Yes, yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was the best.
That was awesome. There's a parkour system there, which I thought was a weird inclusion, but I know you're over there jerking off to it.
Yeah. Also, did you notice the thing that we talked about?
The air assassination?
No, the thing where he used the like, what's it called, the comma or whatever to do a part of the parkour.
Oh, he did do that, didn't he?
Yeah, just just last week we discussed that I want Assassin's Creed to use a comma for parkour, and then I see it in Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm buying this game.
Yeah, yeah. And it looks like it's gonna have damn good boss fights. So I'm really
Yeah,
interested. I'm really interested to see where that goes. I am beyond fascinated. They showed another Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. That one was the one that was heavier on gameplay, so it was generally the better one. They showed off the Pirates of the Caribbean world. I don't know. Have you ever seen the Pirates of the Caribbean world from Kingdom Hearts 2?
I think I have.
I should know. I call the location the Caribbean, but when I refer to the movies, I call them Pirates of the Caribbean. It should be Pirates of the Caribbean, but I'm so used to other people calling them Pirates of the Caribbean that I call them Pirates of the Caribbean. Whatever.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Guns.
Pirates of the Carbine. Yeah, Jack Sparrow just pulls out a machine gun. Anyways, so the Kingdom Hearts 2 Pirates of the Caribbean world looked awful. Because there was no greater example of what happened, how it can look fucking weird when you try to mix cartoon characters with real life characters, right? It
Jump
looked
Force. But yeah,
it looked hideous. It looked way worse than Jump Force, I guarantee you that. Because you didn't see any realistic people in Jump Force. It was anime characters in a realistic world. Anime characters or Disney cartoon characters interacting with anime characters interacting with real life characters looks fucking weird, dude. And now it looks so much better. And also the voice actor they got to voice Jack, way better than the guy they got to voice Jack previously. It may be the same voice actor and he's just doing a better job. I don't know. But the voice actor who voiced Jack in Kingdom Hearts 2 was not great. So I'm excited to see that. I'm getting steadily more hyped up for Kingdom Hearts 3. Even though the plot is still incomprehensible, even to someone who's played through most of the games like myself.
I want to wait until they release the 3.1 remix so I can get all of the games together, because last I checked, the 2. Whatever remix, the last one they released was like still $60.
Ooh.
And as much as I want to play Kingdom Hearts through its entirety, still I'm not sure if I really want to pay $120
Okay,
just so I can play through those games.
I have the HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix, which that I think is the best bundle you're going to want to go for, because that's all 4 of the games that are really necessities. Because you only really need to play through 1, 2, Birth by Sleep, and Chain of Memories, and read what happens in Dream Drop Distance, because those are the only those are the only 5 that are really necessities.
Yeah, but then I can't play 365 under two or whatever.
You can't, but that one was supposed to be one of the awful ones.
I have played it actually on the DS. You don't need to tell me how bad it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's real basic. You just gotta understand. Roxas and Axel used to be friends once upon a time. A bunch of bad things happened, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 happened. 365 over 2 days is supposed to be fucking weird. Because what I've seen of it, it looks like you're just playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 again, but as Roxas.
I remember playing a game where on the DS as well, one of the Kingdom Hearts games where it wasn't actually even a game. Like there were no cutscenes or anything. Well, there were, but it was the budget like pictures sliding and then text bubbles cutscenes. And then you were just shot into a room to kill people, and then it came another cutscene and then a different room, and that was the game.
Was that not 365 over 2 days?
It might have been. I'm not sure.
Because 365 over 2 days had full motion cutscenes at several points, and ones that were shockingly good for a DS game. But other than that, I think it did rely on a lot of text bubbles and shit. Which, Japan, that's what they do.
Yeah, I also played Rechain Memories, I think, but that was actually an alright game. Actually, it might have not been Rechain Memories.
What did
Whatever.
I call?
It was
Wait, did I call Chain of Memories something different? Did I call it like Chain of Hearts or something?
no, we called it Chain of Memories.
Okay. I was worried for a little bit. Like, wait, did I call it? But yeah,
I'm not sure why I call it Rechain Memories, but whatever.
because
It was like
that was the PS2 version. I think that was the remastered version.
okay, then that's definitely not the one that one that I played. It was like a remake of a, or maybe not a remake. I have no idea. It was something memory about memories.
I think
It
Chain
was
of
like
Memories was the only Kingdom Hearts game that had memories in the title, so it was probably
That
Chain
I've
of
no
Memories.
that I have no idea because I played it on the DS. And it was like about Sora going back in, like not back in time, but like remembering things and trying to fix them through like a freaking simulation, like a computer simulation.
Right, because the organization wiped his memory. That was the plot of that game. Yeah, that was one game where I just read the plot online because I didn't want to try a 2D Kingdom Hearts game with like cards and shit.
It was 3D.
It
The one
had,
that I played was 3D.
I don't know. I'll have to look into that. That might be the version that's on the HD remix. But yeah, that's
I
enough.
think it is, but yeah. Anyway,
That's enough Kingdom Hearts talk. Let's see, what else was there? Oh shit. There was the continually ever getting weirder Death Stranding, which, yeah, you can tell the game's getting weirder with time when it opens and you're like in the fucking womb looking at a baby's face or something. Like the camera's honestly like in what's the tube? The fallopian tube?
no
Whatever the
idea.
tube the baby goes down. And like no, it's incredible that they've gotten these big celebrities for Hideo Kojima's fucking weirdo game. Because they already had Norman Reedus and they had Guillermo del Toro. Then it turned out a couple months ago that they added Mads Mikkelsen to the cast. And they revealed at E3 they've now added Leia Seydoux to the cast. Like, what the fuck? And I'm beyond interested in Death Stranding because I'm a huge Silent Hill fanboy. I'm a huge Metal Gear fanboy. And since Hideo Kojima worked on Metal Gear, and this was very clearly all the concepts that were put together for the now sadly canceled Silent Hills, this is basically probably going to be the combination of Metal Gear and Silent Hill. So words cannot express my excitement at such a concept. But boy, is it turning out fucking weird.
No horror game starting in the womb will ever be as freaking scary to me as Sonic Dreams Collection.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I wish I didn't understand that reference.
Uh, I mean, I just hope that the baby this time around wasn't big.
Oh my god. Dude,
But imagine.
it's exactly like that. It is exactly perfectly like that. Except instead of Big the Cat, it's just an actual baby.
But it really should have been big. Just imagine.
That would have been a fucking twist. Especially considering that, like, Norman Reedus pulls out some sci-fi gadget that's powered by the baby in a tube or something. And it would have been a real fucking twist if he pulls out this little power battery tube thing, this little jar, and it's got Big the fucking cat inside it.
And then you just faintly hear Froggy.
Froggy? I'd
Yeah.
fuck me. Would you fuck me, Sonic? Oh my god.
Big the Cat is still the best character from Sonic.
Shut the fuck up. There is no best Sonic character.
Are you trying to tell me that Cold Steel is not the best?
At least you know what? I'll take Big the Cat over Shadow the Hedgehog. Maximum OC edgelord character. OC do not steal.
We still need to play freaking Sonic Racing, so I can beat you with Shadow.
We do. Jesus, I've got so much stuff I need to download on the Xbox when we're done with this. I don't even know if we're gonna play Smite with Soon today. I feel like we should wait it out until they give out all the fucking free gods.
They already have. I had it for a day.
Oh, they've given it out already?
Yep.
Oh my god, we need to do that. We need to do that today. I'll tell Soon, but oh man, I don't know if Soon's got gold on his account. Whatever. We need to play Assault on with that, because now we'll just get thrown random characters. How would you like to try Chalk?
Yeah, Chuck is one of them, but there's not actually that many characters that you get. Like, I got freaking Cat with her. Freaking, I got Cat's like kawaii costume for whatever reason.
They gave out a few of the costumes with the PlayStation account pack. I wonder if they're going to give out the same costumes here. I don't know.
Did they give the kawaii pop costume on the PS4?
I don't think they did, but I don't remember. I'll have to check. But
yeah,
back on topic.
Moving back on topic.
What were we talking about? Oh my god!
The Cat being Death Stranding.
Big the Cat's Big Adventure, Death Stranding. That should just be the subtitle. I want the next E3, Death Stranding comes on screen, and then you see fade in above it, Big the Cat's Big Adventure, Death Stranding.
Yeah. It's Big's origin story. You play as Big. You play as Big trying to fish his way through freaking horror. Just feety.
The game ends with Norman Reedus being turned into Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, the ultimate life form.
God. What else did Sony do? I've forgotten.
They named themselves Sonic.
Oh, Resident Evil 2 remake. I'm picking that up. Man, Capcom is on a fucking roll lately. Resident Evil 2 remake looks incredible. And it's Resident Evil 4 style, which I cannot express my joy at there being a possibility of a new proper Resident Evil 4. Because Resident Evil 5 almost was another Resident Evil 4, but then it fucked up super hard on several fronts. So if Resident Evil 2 turns out to be another Resident Evil 4, but slower and more horror-focused, I will be beyond overjoyed. And I don't imagine it's too relevant for you.
No, not really. I'm just hoping that Capcom remembers the one series from them I actually play at one point. Because I'll need more games for my PlayStation, and I own the last game that they released from the series. The one before that was for the PS4 costs $60. So, still.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I think that's about tying up all that's left of the Sony conference, and I hope so, because we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes, and we still haven't discussed the major thing to come out of the Nintendo conference, and we still haven't discussed what we've done in this past week. So the Nintendo conference, Smash Ultimate, get hyped.
Still no Wah.
Still no Waluigi. The amount of Waluigi memes are continually multiplying at a frightening rate.
Did you see the one that's Waluigi in the crying position meme where it says, "Try not to wah a lot."
Yeah. Honestly, Waluigi's overrated. I'm more of a Wario fan.
I like Waluigi just because he's lanky.
Because he stomps people into the ground with a tennis racket.
Yeah, that as well.
God. Oh man, there has never been. God damn it! There has never been more encouragement for me to buy a Switch. Honestly, and it's coming at a time where I'm rough for cash too. Oh my god. I need to consider my options here.
Oh bloody hell!
What was I saying? Right. So, anyways, that looks incredible.
Smash, yeah.
The entire roster is back. I would have never predicted Snake would come back, ever, in my life. I thought he was done after Brawl, for sure. And he's back. And they brought back all of the crazy crossover characters from Wii U Smash as well. So we got fucking weirdo options like Cloud and Shulk and Bayonetta. I'd have. I'm still shocked by Bayonetta being in Smash, honestly. Does she turn?
I'm just
Does she turn
yeah,
naked whenever she uses her smashes?
no idea. I don't know Smash.
For the kids.
Yeah, I mean, little Timmy needs the booby lady.
Yeah, I guess so.
What was I going to say? This gives me hope that maybe other fighting game series will also retain some guest characters. And
It's
yes, I'm talking about having Akuma in freaking Tech 3
ooh, well.
because that would just be the best thing.
The thing is, Smash is a roster entirely comprised of guest characters.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess we'll know depending on whether Heihachi and Spawn return for Soul Calibur 6.
That would be freaking funny.
It
I
was-
mean, Heihachi probably returns just because freaking Harada and everything else, but Spawn, I'm not sure.
oh, there's no way.
wouldn't be against it.
I said that as a joke.
But yeah, I know, but I um, and I like to imagine like unrealistic possibilities where we can actually get games that are good, and we can get freaking Soul Calibur 2 remake that actually is just Soul Calibur 2 with well remade.
And with more people on the roster?
Yeah, with more people on the roster, and also that freaking don't they have like a pretty boy now, like a new pretty boy guy?
Oh, yeah. Who was it? It was some guy that immediately, as soon as I saw him, it's like, oh boy, they brought Swy back. Except they didn't, but they brought him back. So now we've got our edgelord character with douchebag hair screaming about darkness. I need to control the darkness in my heart.
It isn't even Zwei because at least Zwei had a freaking like a cross sword. This guy is just a straight up freaking like
He's Shadow the
what's the-
Hedgehog.
no, not even that because at least Shadow is a hedgehog. This guy is just sticks, a bundle of sticks stick together with freaking blue tack.
Be careful with that phrase.
Yeah, I know. I realized after I said it. I don't mean it like that. I mean just freaking like a stick figure. He's a stick figure.
Yeah, or a twig.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Whatever. I feel like Smash Ultimate would give me more hope for the possibility of fighting games that have all the roster in one game. And I say that again because I want another Street Fighter with Q and Dudley in it. Just give me a Q and Dudley Street Fighter game. Give me it. Give me it. Anyways, so this new Smash will have 3 Links on the roster. Did you see that?
No.
Because it's gonna have Breath of the Wild Link. It's gonna have Young Link, which I
And
assume.
Toon Link.
Yeah, and Toon Link. So it's gonna have Wind Waker Link, and which one would Young Link be from? Probably.
Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I was about to say Majora's Mask or Ocarina, probably. So 3 Links, and if they got everybody, that means Dr. Mario is going to be coming back. So how many Mario Shotos will we have in this game?
Well, there's Ryu for one Mario Shoto.
Yeah, we got Mario, we got Luigi, we got Dr. Mario. Wario actually doesn't play like Mario for some reason. Not at all. Which, I mean, I'm happy with, because Wario is one of my mains, but still.
If I end up getting the Switch for this game, which I probably won't just because of money, but whatever, I will probably bring Ganondorf just because Ganon.
Ganon's always a load of fun, but he's actually... Like, Ganon's fun whenever you can get him to work. He's just impossible to get him to work because he's so fucking slow.
I mean, the guy I made in Tekken, Lee, is known to be just a freaking inferior Shaheen at this point. I still continue to play him because I don't play to win, I play to have fun, but
Yeah, also, I don't play Shaheen. I like Shaheen's character design, but his moveset is so boring.
I haven't played Tekken in like a year.
Ooh.
Well, then never mind. I have played Tekken with Ping, but I haven't played Tekken 7 in like a year.
They updated it recently and added a ton of items.
Yeah, I know. I still don't have the same costumes that I had on the PS4.
Right. Fuck. let's see. Going back to Nintendo, what else was it? I'm interested if they're going to add any other new fighters other than Ridley, because Ridley was the big one that they said is going to be the new fighter. I'm curious if they're going to add any more new characters, or if it's just we got everybody and Ridley. Because honestly, I'd be happy with that. Like, give me the complete roster so I can have all my mains here. Even though none of my mains were the guys that got taken out. But, give everybody their mains.
Yeah.
Because, like, my mains, they're pretty safe. I play Luigi, I play Wario, I play Bowser, and I think once upon a time I played Mr. Game & Watch. I forget who else I played. There was someone else. Shit. I forget. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that looks...
Yeah, did you see on the cover that Mr. Saturn is with everybody else?
Oh my god, if Mr. Saturn was a playable character, I would love it. I'm always down for more Earthbound characters, and Mr. Saturn would be the best. You pick him, and he has no smashes. He can't jump either. He can't dash. He can't block. He can walk, and he has a simple one-hit strike. That's it.
But if you hit somebody with 100% on their health, you just instantly KO them.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I always forget about Mr. Saturn, and he's one of my favorite parts of those damn games. Because it's such a good... It's one of those things where it never stops being funny, whipping him out in the middle of a match. Like, let me call out my legendary assist trophy. Oh, it's Mr. Saturn. Fuck. Just looking at his damn face is amazing. Because it's just pretty much a walking nose that has a bow tie in his hair for some reason.
So no spaz.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, right.
No.
They just needed...
You know what would be even better than implementing a Mr. Saturn that can't do anything? Implementing Mr. Saturn that can do everything. Adding Mr. Saturn and he's like the top of the tier lists immediately. He gets like one frame, insta-kills on every button.
Yeah. Or just go the cheap way and make him Mokujin.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Just imagine, Mr. Saturn just sprouts like freaking long legs and just starts flying. Because he's Ripley.
Mr. Saturn in Bowser form. It's just Bowser's shell with Mr. Saturn's nose poking out of the head hole.
Yeah.
Mr. Saturn wearing the Metroid armor. You can see his nose coming out of like the face slot that Samus has. Oh, that'd be amazing. But that's it for E3, I think. So we can go ahead and go over a little bit of what we've done. I'll go ahead and go first because I feel like it. I've done mostly the usual stuff. I've been slacking on my Warhammer lately, mostly because I'm getting anxious. Like I've been busy a lot this past week, so I haven't been able to get much work in. Sadly, on the Warhammer 2 Norska playthrough. Maybe I can get that properly uploaded before this episode comes out. Maybe not. We'll see. That could be. I'm not sure. I'm past the point of like questioning maybe I should just torch the playthrough and record something else and let Warhammer be my casual game that I play. I don't know. We'll see. And I've picked up Killer Instinct 2016. Not 2016. What's wrong with me? 2013. The reboot that they released for Xbox One. I got on Steam for $10. That is a damn good fighting game. That is a fighting game that really knows how to make like the function like. It's got one of the best tutorials in fighting games. It makes the complicated stuff of fighting games digestible to the average fan. And that is something that, like, no other fighting game even bothers with. Have you ever played a Street Fighter tutorial?
No.
Right! Street Fighter V was the first Street Fighter to have a tutorial, and it's awful. It shows you, hey, press this button to punch. You can dash. Bye. That's it. Because most of the time, like I love Japan's a lot of Japan gaming things. Japan is awful at bringing in new fans because Japan just assumes that you're a usual obsessive otaku with a cocaine habit who won't need to be shown the game Just learn it through hundreds of hours of practicing the same move over and over. We don't need to show you anything. Figure it out.
Yeah, so far Tekken Tag 2 had the best Tekken tutorial because it at least told you that juggles are a thing. Before that, I don't think there were tutorials.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the number one issue with Japanese fighting games. They show you the buttons, they don't even tell you about the existence of combos, and they don't explain to you how combos are supposed to happen.
Yeah, in Tekken Tag they like the combat tuning or whatever mode. In that, but that's basically the game's tutorial. If I don't want to say freaking stupid things that I don't remember, but if I remember correctly, at first it's just basic things like here's how you move, here's how you punch, here's how you kick, here's how you sidestep because we're a 3D game, we're like one of the last, and then it goes into actual juggles. Like the game actually shows you how to do basic juggles, and then it's just like, okay, now you figured it out, and then pushes you into online and you get killed immediately.
Yeah. Well, Killer Instinct, it's in depth as fuck. You know, it's starting to get into the actual complex fighting game stuff. Trying to teach you to do cross ups on wake up. When it's actually bothering to teach you like the ground game, the wake up game, and all that. Because there is no fighting game I've discovered yet that bothers to try and teach you the wake-up game. And, like, it's especially egregious for, like, Street Fighter V, because Street Fighter V is all about the wake-up game. So, the tutorial does an incredible job. And the thing I really, really appreciate about the game is they went to depth to make sure that every character feels very different from other characters in the best possible ways. And a thing I loved about Third Strike was taunts are usually something that don't matter in a game, and they're the exact same for every character in essence, right?
Yeah.
And Third Strike actually went against that and made it where taunts mattered, and every character got different effects from their taunt, and had different taunt mechanics. Well, taunts in Killer Instinct don't matter, but dashes and throws and other things that we take for granted as usual things in fighting games very much matter in Killer Instinct. Like, for instance, dashing. Several characters just have regular dashes, but some characters have KOF runs. Several characters have special moves that can only be performed while dashing or running. And then there's the weird-ass character of Riptor, who has a KOF run in both directions. And then there's Shin Hisako, who is a character who teleports on dash. And she teleports into the air. And it means that she can basically turn a dash into a jump-in attack without the usual dangers of jump-ins. Like, it's crazy the stuff they actually put in there. And, like, throws are on a similar basis where, like, just for instance, Thunder, his forward throw is a usual throw, whatever, deals X amount of damage and causes knockdown. His back throw deals no damage, but it combos. And that's something like making throws actually different for every character and unique for every character is something that making individual stuff like that different for every character is a thing I think more fighting games need to look into. And Killer Instinct does a really good job. Like SF5, I think, is doing a better job than other Street Fighters of really displaying the differences between each character with the V skill and V trigger systems, right? Well, Killer Instinct actually goes to the length of, in the moveset menu, in the move list, it actually explains the purpose of each individual move and explains the properties. Like, it explains, oh, this is your character's Shoryuken. It has invincibility on startup if you do it the light or medium version, right? And Street Fighter never stops to explain that stuff to you. Well, Street Fighter V does now. It explains a little bit in the demonstration menu, but most of the demonstrations are absolute dog shit. And so many characters have subsystems that are designed to encourage them to play in the fashions that are built for that character. Like Saberwolf, per se, is built up as your very aggressive character who keeps going and keeps pushing. And like one of his things is he's got lots of very good block stun combos, right? So his like super mode actually gives him, firstly, it gives him chip damage on every move, which is really good. And it gives him Roman cancels from Guilty Gear, which Roman cancels basically in Guilty Gear, they make it where you can cancel any move in the game for a chunk of meter, and it gives Saberwolf that for free. So basically, just pound on the guy, even when he's blocking, just keep pounding on him to deal absurd block stun chip damage. And it's very in detail, and it makes it very easy to consume for the average player, and it's really something other fighting games should follow. Because, I mean, fighting games, they're definitely far from the easiest game genre to get into. We've seen this with how badly Pink suffers whenever we play fighting games. Because you and I can somewhat keep up. Neither of us are exactly fighting at Evo, but we know enough to get by. But Pink really suffers because fighting games make it impossible to get into.
You know enough to get by. I know I have enough muscle memory to get by. But otherwise, yeah. By the way, if you would have bought it for the Xbox, we could have played together since I have the first season.
Ah, okay. I feel like that's a thing that'll end up going on Game Pass eventually, honestly.
It probably is, which, I don't care. I got all of the fun that I would have gotten out of it solo, so
Who's in the first season?
like Jago and Saberwolf and
Fulgore?
freaking yeah.
Yeah, Fulgore, of course, Fulgore. I'd imagine Fulgore's your kind of character.
I actually played Saberwolf.
Yeah, Saberwolf's damn good. But yeah, I played a little bit of that. I want to say there was something else I've played, but I believe that would be incorrect. I've made a lot of progress on Yakuza 0. I've gotten into the real estate part of the game. And my god, Yakuza 0, I'm at Chapter 6, right? And I've nearly finished up the real estate minigame. I've nearly gotten it beaten. I've got most of the skills bought. I've completed like half the side quests, and it's Chapter 6, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, the game's got to be just about done, right? That sounds like an almost done part. I'm at 80 hours in game time, because the game actually tells you on the pause menu how much time you spent in the game. I've got to be getting close. No, I just looked it up. I'm at Chapter 6 out of 18.
I see.
Fuck!
Yeah. On one hand, I would like you to game share Yakuza with me. On the other hand, I know that out of the 2 hours of gameplay that a session would give us, per session, like you'd sit there for like 1.5 hours of me just doing karaoke.
Oh my god, I am the worst at the karaoke minigame, but I'm even worse at disco. Because there's a disco minigame, there's a disco minigame. And
okay, you need to buy me Yakuza yesterday.
I'm awful at it. Yakuza 0 is going to be going on... Oh no, it's still $60, fuck. I don't know. Yeah, Yakuza 0 is definitely a hard game to get. I don't know how it would work for... I got it digitally for $60. I don't know how it would work for you. Getting it digitally.
We have digital stores, so the thing is just that it's just as expensive. So like there are just some weird things like say Enter the Gungeon, which is a game that I wouldn't mind some of us playing together. I know that you'd hate it because it's a top-down twin stick shooter, but Pink and I could play it because it's fun. But here's the thing: on PlayStation it costs like $10. On Xbox it costs 15.
That's weird. Why would they do that?
No idea.
Huh. That is very, very, very weird. But yeah, it's definitely imposing. And I'll probably check back in with progress to say, hey, I'm not even a third of the way through the game next week, so hey. And other than that, I believe I have watched a movie at some point. I watched The Thing for the first time. I got to watch The Thing. Which, do you know what movie The Thing is?
I've heard of it. I think it's a horror movie.
Yes.
And that's about all I remember.
It's Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley, and Keith David are like at an Arctic research base in like fucking Antarctica. You know, the shit pit of snow. And
Yeah.
there's a monster that goes out there, some kind of alien monster, the Thing, that is capable of absorbing and perfectly imitating people. So it's
Oh, I
kind of
think I might have seen it then.
right. You definitely would remember it. Like it comes in as a dog. You'll remember that. It comes in as like an Arctic wolf or something like that. Maybe a husky. I don't know. Oh, it was a half husky, half wolf mix, I think. And when the movie starts, there's a bunch of Norwegian crazy dudes shooting at it, and the American protagonists are just like, "What the fuck?" And they kill the Norwegians. And then it turns out they were super wrong, and the Norwegians had a good damn reason to try to kill that wolf. And the wolf, there's a the movie is very much known for its good practical special effects, where they made a lot of really horrific monsters using puppets and animatronics instead of CG, because CG didn't exist back then, or at least not so strongly as it does now. And most of it still holds up. The puppets hold up way better than the animatronics do. Because the animatronics, you see them and you know that it's animatronics. You know that it's a machine in there with cogs and engines and motors and what have you, and pistons. But the puppets still look amazing. They still move organically as they should. Overall, I say the movie is held up really well. It's known as one of the it's known as one of the cult classic horror films, possibly the big cult classic horror film. And I can see why. It's a damn good movie. I wouldn't say it's the greatest by any means, but it's very good at building up tension, and the monster designs are spectacularly awful in the best possible way. I mean that in a good way, you know, where it, like
Yeah.
the kind of monster that it hurts to look at, you know. Some of the special effects haven't aged well, as I've said, but they are few and far between. The acting is good. There's particularly a part where it's a 30 or 40-year-old movie. If you haven't seen it yet, if you don't want to be spoiled on it, go watch the damn movie. But there's a part where they're trying to figure out which people in the group are the Thing, and they figured out a process to try and determine which ones are the Thing. So there's 3 dudes that are tied together on a couch with a knot of rope. And it turns out the one dude on the far left end of the couch is a Thing. And he starts transforming while still tied to the couch. And the other 2 dudes on the couch just start flipping the fuck out. And it's a very great sequence because you can totally understand them flipping the fuck out as they are tied to a guy who is turning into a Thing. In the most horrifying fashion possible. And like the couch starts flipping while they're screaming. It's a whole great sequence. And it's got 3 big iconic scenes that everybody knows. There's the one scene where they catch the one half-transformed Thing out in the snow. And is like, most of him's human, but the hand is still monster-ish. And he starts screaming in the weirdo Thing voice he does. There's the iconic scene of them going through the blood tests, as I mentioned earlier. And what was the other one? Right. It's the one everyone's seen. I imagine, like, even if you haven't seen the movie, you've seen this one. Have you seen the part where the guy has the heart attack and they take him and they put him on the table and they try to they get the defibrillator out?
I think so.
And the doctor goes up, he lifts his arms up for the defibrillator, goes down, and the guy's stomach just opens into a gigantic mouth and eats the doctor's arms. Like, that's the big one, because that one's a big horror moment, because there was no build-up or any of that going in. We had not even the slightest clue that the guy suffering the heart attack was actually a Thing. So, yeah, great fucking horror movie. Ambiguous ending, so that varies from person to person whether or not you like ambiguous endings. I'm fine with ambiguous endings when done well, because sometimes with ambiguous endings, especially in horror movies, as it's handled in The Thing, it gives the viewer a choice to believe in what ending they like, you know? Like, if you want the heroes to have a happy ending, then you can choose that the ambiguous ending ended happily for them. If you want it to end poorly for them and the horror to keep going on, then you can choose to believe that instead. So, yeah, pretty fucking good. What'd you do this past week, Eddie?
I played through both of the Force Unleashed games, for one. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah. Hang on. Something's going. Something is going on. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need to look. So you keep talking. I need to look something up because I may. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. It was nothing. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, so yeah, I played through both of the Force Unleashed games. The first one, well, both of them aged really well, for one. The first one less so, but you know, like for a game that was made in 2008, I think.
Ooh, I think
I,
it was
I
earlier than that. I think it was earlier than that, wasn't it?
it might have been 2007. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm checking on my phone. You keep talking because Force Unleashed 2 has aged well. Are you sure? Because I remember that being one people hated even at the time.
I actually enjoyed it more because the combat was more fluid. But yeah, the Force Unleashed, both of them aged pretty well, I'd say. The first game I thought came out in like 2010, and then the second one would have come out in 2012
The first one was
in
in
my mind.
2008. The first one was in 2008.
So yeah, the first game was 2008. The second game was actually 2011. So I wasn't that much off on
2010.
that. In yeah, was it 2010?
Yeah.
It was right. Then yeah, I missed 2 years both times, but yeah. Um, the first game was really good. The combat wasn't well. It was really good. The combat was fine. Just after playing the second game, going back to the first game after playing the second made me notice some fluidity. Well, not fluidity, but whatever. That's what I call it. Problems. Well, I couldn't link
Fair
moves as
warning.
easily.
The last couple things you said, probably about just while you were talking about Force Awakens, I may have had your volume set way too high. So you may be screaming into the mic there by accident.
I see.
Sorry to the viewer.
Have I been muted yet? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, moving on. The first game's endings. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure which one. Well, I guess the first ending is well, not the first, whatever. They're not bloody numbered. I guess if the light side ending is the canon one.
I'd assume it would be, because usually the evil ending is the non-canon ending in most
In the
games.
second game, the evil ending is the canon one.
Are you sure about that? What happened?
I mean, judging by the DLC, yes, but
right, but
so
how does it fit into the Star Wars canon itself?
well, it doesn't. It's been established that it's not canon.
Right, it's been established as non-canon now because George Lucas just fucking torched the entire extended universe, but at the time,
So yeah, I actually just judged it as its own canon because I knew that it would have nothing to do with Star Wars, more or less.
yeah.
Which might be one of the reasons why I actually really like it. I'm not sure. But yeah, in the first game, um, well, the setup of how the apprentice is how he turns into the apprentice. I'm not sure how much I like that, but going with Vader to recover him, just killing people because why not? I like that as a prologue. I like it as a tutorial so you can find out what force powers you will unlock as you go along. I um what other big moments that I remember? I remember that there was a point where you had to force pull a Star Destroyer down from the sky, and that freaking part sucked so hard. Let me tell you, I couldn't hit a freaking TIE fighter to save my life. Genuinely, I died like 5 times to TIE fighters because every time I started to pull the Star Destroyer towards the ground, they would shoot me immediately. Like they just spawn in next to me and then kill me. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but still. But yeah, I remember that part. I remember the fight with Proxy. Um, that might be a spoiler, but what? Doesn't matter now.
I don't think anyone cares about Force Unleashed spoilers.
But yeah, there's the fight with Proxy when in the part of there's a part of this fight where the fight is caught up with a cutscene that's not based on quick time events, and Proxy says something like um there's somebody I haven't shown you yet, and he just turns into Darth Maul, and I was like, I am ready. I have never been more ready.
Right, right. I forgot that droid turned into other people. Like, it was especially fucking weird in the first one where didn't he turn into Obi-Wan while fighting Darth Vader?
Yeah, he turns into Obi-Wan to save your guy, I think.
Weird.
Yeah. Um. So wait, I did both of the endings. With one ending, you kill Vader, and then get turned into basically Vader 2.0. Um. I didn't like that costume. Then again, I didn't like either of those costumes. My favorite costume was um like the Jedi Lord costume because it it resembled Altair's robes. Like genuinely what I liked about it is that it A, it had a hood, and then B, it didn't have a chest piece because I didn't like the like bulky um like metal chest piece that the Sith one had. Anyway, um yeah, in that ending you get turned into basically like a robot, and that's where it's left. In the Force ending, or the light side ending rather, you just die. People escape and you just die. So that's the first game. The second game starts off with flashbacks to the first game, and a thing that I liked about it is that the game picks up where the first one left. You still have all of your upgrades, and I mean, that's not necessarily a good thing if somebody tries to go backwards with the games. But if you try to go through the games as not actually two games but just continuations of each other, like this is what happened like 1 month later, then it does make for a really good um but gameplay. Really, I liked it as a gameplay thing where I didn't have to fight my way through to all of the upgrades that I had in the last game. I mean I still did kind of, but I didn't need to upgrade everything 5 times and then go through levels and hope that I will unlock my abilities.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. The issue with any game where they like, you get to keep all the abilities from the previous game, then the question gets raised of, what the fuck will I unlock? Where the fuck will I be able to fit new shit then?
Yeah, the thing with the second game is I think the makers thought similar to how I did, and they just basically continued the first game. So you don't have all of your powers at first. You have most of them. Like a lot of things that you unlocked through the first game stay unlocked at the start of the second, but you still need to unlock um like 3 or so abilities, I think, through the game. They also changed the upgrade system, so it's not based on colors. So like I think red was fighting, blue was force powers, and I want to say like yellow was health or something like that. Instead of that, they now just have blue tanks for force tank upgrades. They have green for life upgrades, and they have yellow for upgrade points that you spend on making your abilities better. And it's like I think there's three tiers still, but the most expensive anything gets is like around 50,000 points, which you get pretty easily if you go with the white lightsabers like I did. Other thing that I really liked about this game is that the lightsaber colors actually made a difference because in the first game you had different like two kinds of different crystals. You could get color crystals and you could get actual like gameplay changing crystals. I think it was a power crystal or something they were called. But anyway, I like how I'm writing a review just as we speak in
Hell,
freaking words. But yeah,
what?
anyway, I think another thing that I liked is that you didn't have to manage two different types of crystals. If you found a saber crystal, they did something. I also liked how, because in the second game you have two lightsabers, you need to pick up two saber crystals of the same color to have the same color sabers. Like, it's a small thing, but it's a small thing that I enjoy.
Yeah, you're referring to like subsystems I don't even begin to remember. I haven't played Force Unleashed since I was a little kid.
But yeah, I prefer the second game just because of how the combat feels to me. Like, the quick time events definitely got worse. I'd say that there's
Most of them
lot of
did.
doors. Yeah. Um, like there were some doors where I was like, why can't I just open this the same way I opened them in the first game? But whatever. Like, it became a bit more like God of War, and I don't mind God of War, like classic God of War,
Yeah.
because I never actually played God of War. I owned the second game on PlayStation 2 for like a month, but then it disappeared, and then I played like Chains of Olympus or whatever, which one was on the PlayStation or the PSP. But yeah, I played like that game to the half of it, and that's about it. That's all the God of War knowledge that I have. Um, so this game was basically like, what if God of War but in Star Wars, to me.
Kind of, with a similar focus on arbitrary brutality.
Yeah. Um, a main thing that I did, whenever like,
I appreciate you're trying to go into detail about every little subsystem here, but we are getting very close to 3 hours on the
yeah,
recording.
I'll move on in a second. Just the freaking impaling and how stupid it is. Like, in the first game, it kind of makes sense because we can control a dude in the air with one hand and then control the lightsaber with the other. But how do you explain him lifting a guy with with just thinking about the force, I guess, and then also throwing his lightsaber at him, impaling him in the middle, like precisely in the middle, and then taking the lightsabers out precisely again, and then making them just go on his belt. It's just a stupid thing that I enjoyed. But yeah, other than that, I played a game called Stacked. It's like a 360 game that's about matryoshkas, like the dolls, not fuses grenades, though that would be
Oh,
interesting.
Stacked! You played Stacked. Okay, okay. I thought you said Stacked at first. I was a little confused. Yeah, Stacked is a damn good puzzle game. It's mostly
Yeah, I'm
funny.
not.
It's a Double Fine game, so mostly you're not getting in. You're getting in there for the jokes, mostly for the humor.
Yeah, I need to get back to that because, like, I don't know.
I've
It seems like a good game, but on one hand, but on the other, I'm freaking stupid for puzzle games. I needed a guide for Sherlock Holmes, so
I've beaten Stacked before. I don't remember any particularly difficult puzzles, but I think there were puzzles where it's like you have to find this one thing off in some corner of the map. I'm not exactly sure.
yeah. I also played Ladder Quest, rather. It's called. It's a stupid indie game. Let's start with that. Um, it's basically a typing of the dead game about the Grim Reaper on his quest to freaking order pizza.
Okay, keep
But
going.
instead of being about or actually having to type out words because you're on console, it's actually a crossword puzzle, more or less. Not really crossword, but there's like the mixed letters and you need to figure out different kinds of words. And different like depending on the length of the word and what word you use, you deal different kinds of damage. It's kind of an RPG in that sort. So
Okay.
say you do an 8 letter word that hits for like twice as much damage as say a 3 letter word would.
Okay. That. Huh.
It's in Game Pass, so if you want to try it out, then you can. But yeah, it's not a bad game per se. I played like 3 hours straight of it just today because I picked it up today. And I mean, it's like it's the stupid freaking dumb bullshit that I like. Just why? Why would anybody? But it's fun. It's not really bad. There's upgrades to your stuff. You can get more health, you can get more damage, you can get different kinds of sights that do different kinds of things. But yeah, at the end of the day, you really are just trying to showcase your vocabulary to a game that sometimes doesn't even pick up on words.
Yeah, that's always a big issue with those kinds of games when you know more words than the game does.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one it was, but I find it funny how it's this like kiddie freaking like it's a game you would give to your 5-year-old son or whatever, your freaking nephew, and then it tells you the definitions of the words. So say you write in arse, it will tell you what arse means. If you write in vagina, it tells you what vagina means. I know, I've tested it.
God, all right. Is
Yeah.
that about all you done this past week, Addy?
Um, Let me think. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I played a shit ton of Smite, but
Speak,
that's just the usual.
Speaking of which, we're probably going to transition to playing a shit ton of Smite. Anyways, this was a much longer podcast than we expected. Thank you for sticking along with us, folks. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.